30.
No. All right, you fucking knuckleheads. Okay.
All right, you knuckle draggers.
We made it to session 22 with only 3 nuclear explosions. Yeah, that was a good push. So, I want to run through these quick. I just need to get this kind of off of my chesticles, okay? So, turning off brains. We all do it, right? I've said it 100 times. At least, I've said it at least like 20 times out of the last 22 sessions. I know I kind of drone and I can be a little monotone a bit, but when I do things like this, the pre-session talks, it's usually for corrective things and things that might make our sessions run a little bit smoother, because I have no life, so I listen to these sessions like almost the entire week and kind of play things back and memorize and commit things to memory. I'm not expecting you guys to do that, but when we do things like this, pausing distractions, you know, like playing second screen video games, being on your guys' phone, the pre-session talks, this is where it's like, this is what I want to absorb the most, because no one's going to take notes on this.
Are you absorbing, Bruno?
Yeah, I am.
Right. So,
or at least most of it.
like I've said for 16 out of the 22 sessions, if that is too much to handle, you don't have to play in the campaign. Don't forget, right? This is always voluntary. Please, you know what I mean? If it's more worth your time than, like, you know, just sitting here being bored, go for tits. So, that being said, trusting me, kind of a big one, right? We all know the term adversarial DM. We all know the term railroad. We all understand what these things mean. I cannot stress enough that I need you guys to trust me that I am not trying to fuck you constantly. Well, but I'm not trying to in-game fuck you constantly. I legitimately am, like, want to present challenges to you guys that can be overcome. I find myself constantly being surprised by what you guys do, and I love it. I am meeting you guys halfway by creating an outline and some, like, ifs, thans, right? But if you guys think that that is an abuse of my power, then we need to talk about it publicly, like in the public spaces that we have set up, because I find it highly offensive for me to put in 12 to 15 hours of prep a week for maybe 4 hours of session, only to be told that I'm railroading people, because I don't. I've been pretty transparent before the campaign even started and for the last fucking year that, like, I want to try rolling in front of everybody on the table. I've created all of these things that you guys can access. If you have forgotten what things they are, to show you how I'm doing what I'm doing, I can fucking pin a message up. But it frustrates me to no end, right? So if you feel like I am an adversarial DM, truly to yourself, not in front of everybody else, but if you to yourself feel like I am being adversarial and I'm railroading and I'm just trying to fuck your characters every 4 hours for every Saturday, then don't play. I don't want you at the table. If you can't, like, trust that I just want to make things engaging and interesting. I know you guys have a lot of preconceived notions about things that your characters will have and will do and will this and will that, but you won't get there if you don't have some challenges to overcome. Otherwise, that's boring as fuck, and nobody wants to play that. So, that being said, cause and effect. I've been super blunt about reaction tables, because again, see above, I don't want you guys to think that I'm railroading you. So, when I don't know how an NPC is going to react, or if I, like, have a vague thought of, like, they could do one or this, I will give you guys a reaction table, 2d6, 2 out of 12. The higher is the better, like, reaction towards you guys. I know this is not the ultra high magic setting that it was last time. So you guys, being the heroes, your choices as very high magic people in a very non-magic world are going to have a very, very potent impact on people in-game, right? So please, as just like a what's that called? What is word? As like a recommendation, exercise responsibility. Because peasants who have no idea what prestidigitation does If you summon an egg in front of your hand, they're gonna lose their fucking minds, right? Potentially. Who knows? The next thing about it, notes and VODs. I put these videos up on YouTube right about every single Monday. Some Sundays, if I'm really lucky. And if you guys won't physically take out notes, I know a couple of people are. If you guys don't take notes, you don't type it out. If you don't want to watch the VODs, then when we do things like what happened with Presence and everybody else, where I took notes and then you guys forgot what you guys said, it's not me telling you like, hey, this is what I think you said. I literally went back and I scrubbed through video and I was typing out notes. So I'm not pulling it out of my ass. Yes, you guys are the main characters in this. Please remember that. But I think that it is entirely possible that it's very easy for us to get into the adventuritis, disregarding the standards and laws and practices of the world as if it were a real place. If you guys went to Mambani, they would have rules there, laws there, right? If you go to Arizona, even from here, they have different laws that you have to follow. But they don't tell you at the front gate, you know what I mean? They don't tell you on Route 66 when you go through these states. So, treat it like a real world. Inquire. Insight people. These are recommendations of things that I think you should do. Because you're not going to know the laws until you possibly break the laws. So, keep that in mind. My NPCs also don't know they're in a game, so they'll act as real as I can replicate, which means that they will also potentially take as real of actions. That being said, that is my rant for tonight. I know it was a lot. There was a lot of shotgun information. If anything sticks, then I'm pleased. Not that you have to please me in any way. I mean, but if you want to, you know. So, anybody have anything that they want to say about that? Feel free. Or not, that's fine. This isn't a town hall if you guys don't want to have a deeper discussion.
I'm sorry for how I acted last week.
What?
You didn't hear him?
He said he was sorry for how he acted.
Oh. I think there was just a miscommunication, but
Yeah, I do too.
It definitely, like I said, it's super, super, super offensive to be told that I'm abusing my power. And I don't want to play with someone who thinks that I'm trying to fuck them. Because I'm not. So keep that at the forefront. If you think that things are becoming unfair, it's because I have all of the information in the world back here, and you guys don't. So perceptions can be a little skewed as to what is the picture, like the crystal clear picture that's happening versus what your characters would think, as it is in real life. But I appreciate that. So that being said, we just went over goals and how much... Oh yeah, what's up, Bruno?
You can fuck me anytime.
I was planning on it. So
Don't fuck over me.
So
Under you?
we went over experience. God damn it. We went over experience. Last time we talked about who accomplished goals. We're going to talk about what replacement those goals were if they were replaced. So let's start off with Bruno. I know you had accomplished a couple of them. I think one of them was the ladies, hitting on the ladies. Is that going to stay? Is that like a permanent goal for Ryder or Acheron?
I was thinking, I was like, you know what? I think I like to keep that there. Just any chance I get, if I see a species of the opposite gender, I'll go for it.
This is going to be interesting. All right. Did you want
Doesn't matter
to
what
add?
you are.
Did you want to add any session goals based off of like where we left off or anything like that?
No, just from overlooking that, I think I'm gonna keep them for this session just because it's still pretty early.
All right. That makes sense. What about you, Kyle? What's Deus doing?
Well, I haven't
For his
completed
goals.
any goals, so I still have all my old ones.
Okay, now's the
I can
time to
do a
change them
goal
if you
about
wanted to.
Jail, but I don't know what I want from the experience, so I don't know what a goal would be.
Take down the biggest, baddest motherfucker in there.
Isn't that prison rules?
Deus's goals are get to jail, serve time in jail, get out of jail. All right, guys, I completed my goals. Yeah.
I mean,
You could learn what a cock meat sandwich is.
Holy shit.
These are all great suggestions.
This is terrible.
Extra
This is all
mayo.
terrible.
Try and keister something
Oh.
in.
I'm just gonna say, get out of jail. How about that, guys?
That's awesome.
Does anyone
all right.
know a good lawyer?
So session goal: complete jail.
Well, I don't know if you remember this, but if you wanted to, you could take a page from Balthazar's notes and slather yourself in shit
I don't
and try to
want
intimidate people
shithead.
around you. Okay.
That's a
Well,
It's the
uh-oh,
shit
Dan's
demon.
at least Dan's starting off going and then all right. There he is. All right.
Oopla. Speed test.
So, Therai, what do you got, man? Are you sticking with your I will heal, I will help?
Change the region, Dan. Change the region. I've changed my goals to I will help those around me, whether in the party or not, just because heal was kind of a meh. Help is more broad, so that way it doesn't have to be just necessarily the lay on hands action or anything like that. It can be giving them advantage in the attack or something like that. I also, my second goal is settle on a job before the end of the day. And my third goal is I will help to make sure Deus survives this ordeal as best as I can. For short-term goals, I added a second one if that's fine with everyone of I wish to find a bond with which I feel is stronger than my old party.
That's a really good one. Also, yeah, you definitely should have more than just one short term.
Yeah, I have 3 for each.
Yeah.
Because the long term I think of as like an end term goal of like this
No.
That's what I used to think too.
Yeah.
Your long term,
That's the thing is I
is only
need to- I
things
need to
that should
think
take like around 7 sessions or so. You know what I mean? Like they should be something like developing a skill, like getting proficiency in something, or even expertise. Like yeah, something like 3 to 7 sessions. Should be long term. Your personal goals are things that don't actually have anything to do with like just what your character wants, or just what you want for your character rather. Okay, but yeah. So get what you got, and then we'll roll that through next week, and you can add a couple more. Kaioken.
I have all the same ones except for, and since I completed the get the javelin quiver, I'm replacing that with bond with jelly belly.
Can you go over yours again, just so, because I don't remember what yours are.
So my first one for session is cook/obtain cooking ingredients. The second one is help the party through like a help action, or if it's probably just through the help action because it's session. Bond with jelly belly, and then short term is teach someone to cook. Maybe help them increase their cooking score, or teach them to cook something specifically. Leave the city legally is my other short-term goal, and then learn more about silver dragons. Long-term is find Yomi, old friend, and then learn more about Black Veil versus Arcane Eye, like the history between the two. And then long-term, last one is complete a job. And then if you guys want to know personal, they've been kind of the same. Save wife and child, fix the blackened forest around my home, and then reclaim my mountain.
Dope sauce. All right, KKC, what you got?
Okay. Session goals. I still need to find an opening to talk about what I witnessed and what I went through when I died. I want to pick a quest for us to go on, like finally start a direction. I need to research more on hags. Those are my short-term, or my session goals. I'm sorry, my session goals. And then my short-term goal is researching the Black Veil and the Arcane Eye and find out more about Mori. I'm very curious about him. Does anyone remember who he is?
He was the your friend, right?
No,
Maury
it's not my
was
friend.
the-
He's the
the
one
guy
that
in the
made
book.
all of our stuff.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, that guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
More.
Yeah, so I want to know about him, and then my long-term goal is to meet back up with Aurelian, and then I have personal goals like fix the forest, get back to the Fae, free General Gaeta, and discover the truth about the Fae War and what's actually going on.
I
That's
also
fine.
would like to discover more about Moray Eel.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead and add that to your thing, Maury.
Got it.
All right.
Josh,
Well,
the things you have done to the Mexican people for that's amore. Whatever truly healed.
Okay.
Jesus Christ. Okay, let's get
That
into
was
the
a good
recap.
one,
It's a
goddammit.
it's a relatively short one. So while Kaioken and Deus battled each other for a membership to the Pickett's mercenary training group, Therai met a new friend in the long-lost John Acheron down at the docks. When they regrouped, Kaioken had finally found another member of the Breakers of the Legion in John Ryder, his old partner. A quick reunion led them to the Iron Golem Armory, where apparently the real Jeremy Jordan was recovering from an encounter to what the group found wasn't dwarves, but was instead Duergar posing as dwarves. The party was then escorted to the Office of Investigator Presence for an additional interview in the developing cases around the party and Deus in particular. After a brutal series of grilling questions, Deus was chained and escorted to the jail by Investigator Presence. So, we are not going to start there. Instead, we're going to take it back. About 3 hours, maybe 4 hours. The priest had just got done chastising the masses for hurting one another. He leans down to help the man who was bludgeoned. Sven sees what he's done and says to the priest, "I now know what such a miracle can create." And he turns and flees the scene. Walking back to his tent, he says, "Fraud, I am going to lie low for a bit. I need to understand what all this means. I need to gather information for the second coming of the divine. When the priest comes, make something up." He then grabs his traveling cloak and an eye patch and a blade. Sven Bjornensen trailed the priest as he left the tent, following up the Nonpareil district, watching, waiting. He knew the priest would know who the godling was. The priest knows everyone, everywhere, and he seems to know everything. After an hour or so of stalking, it finally pays off. The priest unites with some unique-looking folks, and him, the divine wellspring, the blind knight, the one. He waits. He can't approach him yet. After what happened at the market, he can't risk drawing any more attention to his savior. While the party went into the Iron Golem, he waited. Afterwards, he inquired, "What was that sword and shield? Was that crafted by your hands?" "Why, are you wanting something equally as magnificent there?" He learns of the one who crafted the tools of the healer. He makes a note to seek him out. When the party was dragged to the guard precinct, he waited, on edge, unsure of why. But he knew what he had to do when he saw the divine being chained and dragged like some false idol. Pesky cops. Alright. So about those dwarves. No, I'm kidding. Alright, so we're actually going to follow Deus as the group begins to peel off from Deus and Presence in chains as they're walking a couple of blocks north. Deus, your hands are bound by manacles, which means that you have disadvantage on attack rolls, and attack rolls against you are at advantage.
What?
Right? Well, because it says that they give you the restrained condition, except that your speed is not 0, and also you don't automatically fail dexterity saving throws. So basically, they just give you disadvantage on yada yada yada. Just so you know. But also on top of that, Presence has taken the time to hang a coat over your arms to where your hands are together. He's kind of obscuring the fact that you are being manacled as he's walking next to you. He's kind of keeping close to you, but he's not like grabbing your arm and like pulling you along. Is there anything that you wanted to do over the first couple dozen feet as you guys are walking on?
We just kind of smell the air, kind of enjoy the being outside.
Okay. Yeah, as you guys are walking, he goes, I get it. A lot of people, they hate the guardsmen and the investigators. We show up when you don't want us to. We have the weight of bureaucracy on our backs, which is messy and confusing. On purpose, of course. Kind of goes silent for a bit. Did you want to respond to that in any way?
Sorry, I wrote down whole sentence on my phone, but I can't find my...
What's a phone? Oh, by the way, you don't have your shield and your sword. He actually has those. He's not going to keep you equipped with your armaments.
Yeah, I figured.
All right.
You know how dangerous those shields can be, especially when used with shield charge.
Shit.
I've been on somewhat of a huge change mentally in my life. One part of that being realized I stood for freedom when I myself wasn't free. But just because now I believe in my freedom to do what I want doesn't mean the freedom from the consequences of what I do.
He goes, that's insightful. You asked me some questions, and I said after the interview that I might answer them. So here you go. And this is as you guys are walking. He's not saying it like super loud and boisterous. He's kind of like, you recognize immediately that it's just you and him hearing this conversation. He's like, you asked me if I believe in something. Of course. I believe in 3 things. Justice. Yes. He's like,
Pussy, money, power.
yeah, right. Order and safety for the masses. It's pretty cut and dry. But go ahead.
Would you say that those are tenets you live by?
I mean, it's the oath that I swore when I became a guard. He goes, you also asked me if I'd ever dealt with someone like you. He goes, yeah. This is a big city. Adventurers, they think themselves near godlike. They shirk the rules and the laws of the land and think that coin is the only punishment or payment that is ever worth it. I've met and dealt with, arrested and fought dozens of adventurers like you. Some fucking god complex and love to flex proverbial muscle around like everyone owes you just for breathing in their presence. That's the version that I was named after.
We're not so different, you and I.
See there, I said it. I told you. He's like,
say that, but
yeah.
I have my own beliefs that I live by that I actually just recently changed. Hopefully for the better, but only time will tell. But I, for one, really hope I don't come off as thinking I'm a god or godlike entity. Those are actually what I'm against now.
Yeah, that's it's interesting coming from someone who has used healing abilities from powers not their own. It's generally what you hear from the priest types, like what's it, the wise guy back there. But you know, you also asked me one other question. If I put you in jail and you start a cult, is it my fault? He goes, to that, I'll take a page from your book and I'll ask you a question in response. Do you have control over your powers? Can you choose whether to use them or not? Because it looks like you took the shoddy man's control when you showed him something he couldn't comprehend. You took that away from him and made him question everything that he ever thought was real. So what's a man supposed to do when they are faced with the incomprehensible?
Oh, what was his name again?
Who? Oh, Presence?
Yeah, the guard, Presence?
Yep.
Like gifts.
He's an investigator. He's not just a regular guard. You're the first one in manacles. I'm gonna bust out the fucking Tomb of Levistus arrows on you.
No, iron bands of binding, those are real. You can just use those.
You know what, Presence?
Yeah, what's up there, Deus?
I think you're almost 100% right on that. The only difference is it wasn't my intention.
And now we have a conversation.
You see, I'm trying to not start a cult, but you could say I was a part of something like a cult. And now I'm trying to correct that mistake and make something that is like you, that defends his city. But my city would be the world.
Give me just a basic charisma check. With advantage.
Sorry, that was a save. You know what?
God damn it! Oh, that was a save. Oh well.
God damn it! Alright. That's not bad. Oh, do advantage. 18's not bad. God
Alright, I meant
it.
to say disadvantage. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, get those 20s out of the way. You see him, he kind of like, his brow furrows a little bit, and he kind of like chins up just...
I guess I've just stumbled on my first step. I forgot about what it would be like of someone who's never come across something unexplainable and where their minds could take them. For when it was explained to me, I was still a malleable young lad. Or if you told me it was anything, I probably would have believed it.
You know...
I guess I'm
go ahead.
just still learning myself. And this I will take as a big lesson on that I plan to grow from. And hopefully be able to use it to start my better world. I wish I had someone like you to guide me on that path.
Give me a persuasion check.
Damn.
That's the second
29.
crit. That's the second crit of the night.
God, I can't wait for combat. He looks at you, he goes, well, it's a lot to think on.
want to try to break the manacles and stab him.
He goes, so he goes, that's a lot to think on. He goes, you know, we've now arrived at two extremes. Your first impression and your helpless impression. He goes, I've heard a lot of people say a lot of things when they're in manacles, making the walk of shame all the way to the jailhouse. Question is, who is sincere and who just wants to get out? But here's the thing. And you guys are actually walking up to, at this point, you've had this conversation, you're walking up to the jailhouse. It is the most boring rectangular building. It's probably 2 stories tall. It seems tall enough for a couple of stories, but there's no windows. It doesn't even look like a door.
It's like a Minecraft house.
It's like your first cobblestone Minecraft house. Yeah. It's got a patio, like a front patio that's made out of cobble. Excuse me. There's no doors, there's no windows, there's just 2 torches on the front that look like they're about out. And he goes, let's see. I'll let you know. Let's call it a good deed for like and kind. The only outcome that I'm going to recommend is going to be a fine and excommunication, which is tame if the man who was bludgeoned dies. Not saying that that was directly your fault. If you are what they say you are, it could have been a very nice thing for someone to pull Dockside out of the mud. But facts are facts. A healer in a place where people need healing would have been great. What we get is we get a bunch of quacks now who weren't the subject of your healing, who are coming up with crazy shit off the top of their head. And so now I get to go search the slums, arrest the crazies, and I'm sure that will take me weeks.
I don't think it's legal or what you want, but as an honest offer, I can try to save that man's life.
So, willing to take corrective measures for shortcomings is good, because before we made this walk, you were pushing the blame off on somebody else. Deus, go ahead and put your hands up against the wall. As you're now at the doorway, well, you're in the spot between these two, and he asked you to put your hands up against the wall.
I'm guessing he unmanacled me, or my hands in front or behind me?
Your hands are in front of you. You've been walking with your hands in front.
Okay. Yeah, he puts them in front of the wall, or on the wall.
So, you see him to your right, press a stone, and move it out of the way. When he does that, there is a keyhole behind this false stone. And he puts a key in, and turns it, and opens it, and you see, like, this door should not swing so easy for how big it is. Like, it's a seamless door made entirely out of the same cobble. It looks like it's all one piece. As he pushes it out of the way, and it slides without even making a sound. And he looks over, and he goes, and he unlocks your manacles, and he takes them off. And he goes, I know what's going to happen next. And I'm not going to allow it to happen. You would have, likely, had your friends break you out. Killing guards and criminals alike just to save your life. They would have likely come back in and tried that. Or somebody would have started a riot inside of that jail, just to escape, which would have had the same effect. So I will take the choice away from you. I can live with bad and good. At least those are directions. You have just been wandering through. And if I'm being so bold, you've been enacting whatever whimsical justice you've seen fit to dish out. So I know, when the time comes, and you're in front of something that even mildly inconveniences you, you'll do whatever you want. And you'll justify it however you need to whomever you need to. But remember one thing. This city is made out of black and white. We will have laws that will be obeyed. And we will deal with anyone who chooses not to obey these laws. And get the fuck out of here. And remember, I'm going to be watching. And I'm going to be waiting for when you slip up. I enjoy your words. And I'll mull them over. But I've been up for 24 hours straight, and I have to go in here and start my second shift. I really don't want to see you in the next 24 hours. And he walks into the door, and it slides shut, not even making a sound, and you are out front of the jailhouse.
Ooh, I thought he was gonna butter your bread.
And with that...
Just a quick question. Does he still
Yeah.
have my weapons?
Nope. He's left them right up against, right behind you, up against the edge of the porch. You didn't even hear him set them down. Because he's a rogue.
He kind of just looks bewildered and kind of rubs his wrists and kind of like looks around like something else is gonna happen.
Give me a perception check. 16 armed guards in heavy... No, they all surround you like equilibrium.
Stop right there, criminal scum.
Nah, man, there's a lot of people. There's a lot of people on this road. It's off of the main drag, so there's just like business happening. Can't tell.
Like, he'd do it for like a minute, just
Yeah.
and then like he'd grab his stuff, and then again, and then put his shield on, and okay.
Keep in mind, you heard that everybody else was going to be meeting up at the Adamantine Anvil before you were leaving.
Yeah, I just thought you'd switch over to them before I... So, because, yeah, my guy would be like, huh. And then he'd start heading that way.
Nice. So, we are going to cut over to the group. You guys have peeled off to go to the Adamantine Anvil to talk about things and to send your best wishes and regards to Deus from afar.
What time of day is it right now?
It's
3:30.
Yeah, thank you.
Perfecto.
Thank you, Time Master. Yeah.
If it took us that long to walk, we ended the last session at 2:30 to 3 o'clock. So
Okay. Perfect.
Nice. You guys are beginning your walk, or you guys you're into your walk as you guys are there, and I'm going to need Mr. John Ryder himself to roll me a D100 in D&D Beyond, or on the table, or in Roll20, whatever you want to do. Just let me know.
So, Deus, for us, he just got taken away. We haven't been walking that long.
No,
right?
no, you guys probably have been walking for what, like a half hour? Is that what you said?
Okay. Can we, for the sake of it, when we were walking, I asked the group why he was arrested, and they filled me in?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. D100.
maybe we wouldn't know about the healing because he did subtle spellcast that in front of Kaioken, but he never told me if he had done
True.
that.
True.
I'm
But
gonna assume that
Presence
Kaioken
did
thinks
tell
it's about-
Kaioken. Presence did tell Kaioken that the guy who you would
Oh,
likely
right,
know
he's
as Sven
claiming- Yeah,
was claiming that a blinded knight healed him.
the meat man. Okay, so that would make sense. And we did leave in a rush, and then I did see them looking around at where the
Right.
So
Right.
yeah, I would tell you all that like I guess
And
healed someone, and he started some sort of a following, and now that following got violent and Therai.
and we know what the following did. Like we know that they started eating people. Or
you
wanted to eat
guys,
him.
the people who were in the interviews. So Therai from earlier in the day, Kaioken and Keksi were just interviewed by him. He had let them know that there was a potential for a cannibalistic cult who is now trying to eat Deus's flesh, to do all that stuff. So he could also fill you in on that's a maybe a hearsay that wasn't like we've seen them and caught them. That was like people are walking around saying this shit.
I would tell him what I know, like what's that word? Discreetly.
Okay.
As we're walking in public.
So I rolled 47.
Right. So I'm gonna need everybody to give me a perception check. Of course, sans Deus.
28.
I rolled a natural 1.
Ooh, Keksi. I need you to do me a favor and roll me a D4.
Yeah, we just talked about this.
I need you to do me a favor and pack up. You're out of here.
It is.
You've been voted off the island.
Even better. Okay, 2
The
seconds.
good luck was well spent on me.
Okay, so, hold on. I need to make sure that I know exactly how this is going to work.
Oh, how fucked are we?
Super fucked.
Not
This is a
super
Keksi thing.
fucked. This is going to impact some people.
Oh boy.
It's exciting.
Where is that underneath all my stuff?
If you look at your inventory,
Oh, inventory. Okay, yeah. Okay. Bloop, bloop, bloop. Ah, I see.
all right. So you have. Go ahead and roll me a D4.
Another one? Oh, hey. Another 3.
Okay. Keep that number on you. So. Perfect. Excellent. She's got a 3 that she rolled. So, here's what we're gonna do. Yep. So, John, go ahead and roll me a perception check if you haven't already. I don't see it on here.
Perception. Yeah. Oh, that sucks.
Perfect. This actually makes a lot of sense. So, Kaioken, Therai, you guys hear a very familiar. Well, actually, Therai it would be familiar too, but Kaioken would hear a familiar dialect, and Therai would hear familiar words. Calling all adventurers. We're gathering up folks who would be able to be manipulated for gold in order to go help the dwarves take back their hold. And looking over to the left, you two would see kind of off of the street a little bit, like street goes straight. There's a little like alcove street, almost like for parking and shit. And you see these dwarves on top of this cart, talking to a few commoners and whatnot, telling them about what's happening as they're kind of barking out that they're looking for adventurers. And Kaioken, you immediately are going to spot those look nothing like dwarves. Those are entirely Duergar. Like they're not even hiding the shit.
That was my next question.
But I need you to make me a deception check if you're going to hide the fact that you recognize that they are Duergar. Or if you're going to be blunt about it, you don't have to.
Would this be a deception check for the Duergar or for our party?
This would be a deception check for both. But I think you already told them that you know Duergar.
Yeah, and I think from what I would have probably heard from other dwarves is that there is that bad blood between them of Duergar, and so I'm just going to be mean mugging essentially and look to the party and like, I want to go talk.
All right. Does the party agree?
He's gonna go talk to the door guard.
So, just to be clear, you're not hiding the fact that you know that they're Duergar, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, am I muted? Look, I'm not muted.
Let us
What
talk.
were you saying?
But words of
Hold on, Bruno, what did you say?
No. Ignore me. Go ahead.
Okay.
he thought it was muted.
Oh, he is now.
Talking is fine. There has been enough ruckus today in the city already. We do not need to cause more.
By the way, short rest for everybody. That interrogation scene took like an hour or whatever, so go ahead and give yourself a short rest before this, because I assume that there is going to be some sort of a back and forth, and if Kaioken flies off the handle and starts like crushing skulls together, he's gonna need his
Do I take
same.
short rest?
Yes.
I'm gonna ask Kaioken. Hey, big man. What seems to be the problem?
Well, I'm just kind of curious. Why is it only rolling one at a time?
Wait, you did it wrong. I just did it wrong too.
Oh.
So you gotta do short rest. You gotta click on the dice. So how many? You see the squares,
Yeah.
and then click below it where it says like 3d10 plus 3. You gotta click that one.
Roll hit dice. That's still just one.
See, mine just did it.
What the fuck? Okay, so I've done 3.
So you should be able to click short rest. You should see
25.
you should see barbarian, and then you should see like a total number of hit dice, like the squares you click on, right?
Uh-huh.
Click the squares,
I see those, and then
right below it should show like 1d10 plus 1.
Oh, I see.
That's the one you click.
Okay. For some reason, I have 2 missing hit dice. That's why I'm. Maybe when we did our long rest from.
So when you
only
do a
gonna take-
long rest, you don't get all
Yeah,
of your
you-
hit dice back.
right,
You only get
that's right.
a quarter of them
Oh,
or
I didn't know
whatever.
that.
So I need to take off.
Yeah.
I'm going back to my current health. It was at 65. Whoa. I'm sorry. Damage. Okay, 65. I'm just gonna do this again the right way.
Yeah.
19. Okay, I'll take 19. Oh, then it already adds it. Okay.
Yeah, it does it all.
Why isn't it saving the hit dice on? Fuck.
Well,
Sorry,
you know
guys.
you spent them, so you're good.
Ooh, the dice are
Another
different
one.
colors. Yeah, that was for
Good
druid.
green.
Okay,
So
I'm good. But yeah, I'll look over to Therai and I'm not trying to cause any problems. I just want to get. To the
John
bottom
also
of-
said what seems to be the problem.
Oh well, all right. Kind of like off to the side. Before we go over it, let's huddle. So what I know about Duergar is that they are not dwarves. Think of 2 main families of dwarves, and one of them are the bad ones, like the bad decision makers, pushed away from the rest of the group because of their, decisions and what they wanted to like do. What?
Visual representation: 2 dwarves, one pushed
Yeah.
away, doing the bad thing.
Yeah, and they continued to do bad things and started mixing themselves up with the wrong people in the Underdark, and were kind of changed in some ways, but they don't get along. So for them to be calling themselves dwarves and wanting people to come to their mountain, one, I'm thinking maybe the dwarf mountain is overrun with Duergar, and this is a way to enslave more people. I want to just see what they say. I speak Dwarvish. I want to see if they can tell me anything. What do you guys think? Do you think that's a bad idea, or?
So, with John being alive as he was, can I assume that John would have either at least known about the Duergar, or at least maybe met 1 or 2 in his adventures?
You can make me a history check.
Yeah, okay, let's do it. Yeah. Nat 20. I am knowledgeable.
As you are thinking, you're like, what do I remember about Duergar? And the rest of you guys would see Keksi's shadow crawl up the front of John Ryder. And John, your sight goes completely blind as this, like, it almost feels like a black cloth goes up. And that is reduced by 3 as you are the next person to make an ability check. It feels like, you know that feeling of cobwebs when you walk through them?
Yeah.
That's the feeling that you get as you're like, what do I... as you're like doing that.
And we see this, correct?
Yes, so everybody sees this, very much so. It's a thick shadow.
Fuck was that? Did something just fly over us as Kaioken's like looking up? Just have it make sense of a...
Yeah, no, I mean, you saw it come up from his feet.
Oh.
From Keksi, over, up his feet, and just in his face. It actually wraps over his form as he goes, bleh, 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 and then as he does that, it just... And you hear almost like the, the boos from Mario, that cackle that they do.
Oh, okay.
You almost hear like a super, super, super faint one of those. It almost sounds like it's like off in the distance, but it just catches your ear. John.
What in the fuck was that? Anyone, please react to what the fuck just happened.
Keksi is just stunned. This has never happened before. This is for John Ryder, like, you wouldn't know this, but this is a new recent thing that Keksi has been experiencing. So her reaction is just as yours.
Oh, fuck! I'm not even drunk. What was that? Did anyone hear something as well?
What was that? I know, I can see that you're shocked, but...
I lean in really close to everyone and say, I don't fucking know.
Therai.
Just felt like
what's your passive?
on my face.
Passive perception.
Passive is going to be 13.
Okay.
And I look at John Ryder. What's your last name? Acheron?
Acheron.
Yeah. And I just, like, under my breath, I'm like, did it hurt you?
Well, I mean, not so much hurt. Just felt uncomfortable, really. Ugh. Can still feel it, right? A little bit right here. Ugh.
Okay.
John's still kind of just playing with his eyes, like, what the fuck?
It's a good thing that John is incredibly knowledgeable at this particular moment as he's recalling things, because it reduced his roll by 3. So.
Oh.
So. It kind of distracted him a little bit. But.
Okay, so John, when he was trying to remember it, that happened.
So you've never encountered Duergar yourself, right?
Okay.
But you have hung out with, in your previous life, you've hung out with quite a number of dwarves because they know how to fucking party, right?
True, very true.
And so they would have told you stories about the Duergar and about how, like what Kaioken's saying, they splintered off, and some of them ended up having dealings with the squid people, the mind flayers.
Yeah.
Deals went bad, and now it's kind of like the difference between wolves and dogs. They're kind of the same, but they're not really the same thing.
So after all that, I'm like, well, we'll figure that out later. But yeah, across my many adventures, I remember hearing about these Duergards from few dwarves. Right bunch of cunts, apparently they are, causing mischief and doing all that.
You band of weirdos over there.
Oh god.
You look over and this ruckus has caught their attention, and they see this like ragtag group of people standing together as John goes bleh, 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 and then well, actually, right? And they're like, hey, come here, we've got a proposition for you.
I'm assuming that Keksi had her back to them because she had turned to John Ryder to, talk under her breath. When she turns around to look at them, hearing from what Kaioken is told and what John is confirming, she just turns around slowly with like dead face, trying not to. It's very, very apparent that she's trying not to display what she's just learned about them. So she just looks awkward.
Does John catch that? Like, kind of how she reacts. Oh, go ahead.
Hold on. Therai?
Therai is going to start moving towards them, and the rest of the party will see as the tail on his back begins coiling around the handle of his hammer.
Oh boy.
It's a time for words. Words from my hammer. All right. So, Keksi, I need a deception check from you. And then, if Therai is engaging, Ryder, you would notice that she is kind of.
Yeah. Okay.
It's a 0.
A 2 minus 2.
Yeah.
This is my favorite. Big old goose egg. So yeah, they're you can see the look of them.
Blinded by the dark.
Like, they look at you, and the first thing that comes over their face is like recognition because they talk to you, and they see you and Therai, right? And they're like, "Oh, hey," and they get real steely-eyed, like as you guys are like, as Therai begins approaching. They read Keksi and their demeanor changes.
I would like to kind of just go in front of Keksi. When I turn to her, my face gets all really handsome-y and like, don't worry, mademoiselle, I can take care of this. Give her the little wink.
Handsome Squidward.
The little star comes out of my eye. And then I kind of walk ahead of her. I do the old, kind of like a light tap on Kaioken's arm. I'm like, big man, just like old times.
We can't fight in the city.
Oh no, not that old times. Let's have a friendly conversation and clear up the air around here.
As you hear
Don't
a
need to
pin
cost
hit the
anything.
ground.
Yeah.
So-
I'll walk up behind Therai and let him lead since he took initiative on walking towards them.
So, we've got
we're all
Therai
gonna
up
die.
front, then Kaioken scoots up next to him, then Keksi. No, then John Ryder, then Keksi's in the back.
Mhm.
That's how we're approaching these guys. Okay. So, you guys approach these dwarves at their cart. And then Kaioken's not hiding anything, he's just mean mugging. Keksi is trying to steal her resolve, or at least not show that she is like weirded out a little bit. They are still offering to take adventurers up. Like, one of them is the other one is kind of like side-eyeing you as he's like talking to people. There is a third one that is on the other side who's like, "Oh, I've got if you help us, we're leaving in the morning. If you're signing up, if you're searching for clobbering, you're sure you're wanting to tussle out here, we got what's right for you. Clearing out minds of the disgusting creatures what forced us into hiding." And then there's one who's just got his back to you guys. It looks like he's rifling through like a footlocker box that's on the top of the cart. Also, they have a second cart, by the way, now. So
A
There's
familiar
that.
one.
right.
Do they appear to be like discomforted by the sunlight if it is bright out?
Go ahead and make me an insight check.
15.
Yeah, they look like they're hiding it pretty well from most people who don't know this fact, but you could tell they're squinty more than they would be, as like clearly the movement, they're moving slower, as like clearly the movement of like that kind of makes them wash a little bit, as they,
Okay.
you know what I mean?
Go ahead, Josh.
Friend dwarves, I take it the problem has been corrected.
All right. Thank you very much for telling us exactly where our mithril would go. We appreciate it, and we definitely went and had some dwarven words with the feller. Turns out, just a human. Thieving from dwarves.
Sometimes the most common race is the most ambitious, I must say. Either way, it looks like you are looking for friends to help you on the road. When do we take off?
Oh, we're leaving first thing in the morning. Anyone who's signing up can meet right back here as we take our way out. So far, we've got about... Therai, go ahead and roll me 2d10.
You got it.
Please don't Will Wheaton me this time. We've got us just about a dozen adventurers signing up, ready to go on helping us clear out the mines. We're giving out all sorts of legendary works of dwarven mastery and untold ages past and riches of the eldest age before the fall of magic, and so that tends to get a few people in here.
How many are there?
There's 4.
We have but one party member who is indisposed of at the moment, but once we get him, how late will you be here?
We'll probably be here through the night.
As soon as we get him back in our custody, I will make it a habit to come back and visit. If not tonight, by the time that you take off in the morning.
What about you there, big man? You look steeled and hard as stone. What's that term that we say all the time? Maga camera, right?
Um,
By the way, you would know there's no dwarf on the planet that would forget Maga camera.
Fuck, I don't know what to do.
You look like you're good at breaking rocks.
Just nods, like, yep, big. Like, the Kaioken's not saying anything, he's just like, yep. I'm trying to get more information without laying my hand out first.
He doesn't talk much there, does he, ma'am? As the same dwarf looks over to Keksi. What's got you spooked there? Are you afraid that we're going to give you the dwarven words that we gave that old Jeremy?
Keksi kind of slides to the side so she's not blocked by any of the bodies of the other party, and her brow furrows with like anger that she's holding back and a fake smile, and she goes, I want to know more about how we could help you.
Give me a wait. You just muted yourself. Go.
And like grits her teeth in like a fake smile.
Are you trying to hide it actually, or?
Yes, I have horrible charisma.
Gotcha. Go ahead and give me a deception check.
Anthony, I have no diplomacy.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I have no idea. I have no diploma.
3.
That's about what you were looking for, anyways. Yeah. As he goes, "Oh, you look like you're fit to be tied there. You're about to burst right out of the seams. It's just what we like." But right, well, if you all are coming out in the morning, and we'll be leaving first daybreak to head on out. What with the dozen or so people?
You didn't answer my question.
Oh, I'm sorry. And you see him kind of get a little closer. What was that question again there, ma'am?
I asked you what we could do to help. I want to know more.
Well, you can swing a sword, can't you?
She pulls her axe, gives a little jiggle.
Oh, I see. Well,
Does he look impressed with the craftsmanship?
no. He looks at it and he goes, all right. You see, he's starting to put out, he's putting things together. He's gonna, Kaioken's not hiding his face. Keksi can't hide her face. He's clocking you two as like, now he's like, right. Well, Demon Man.
Yes.
I think your party here is looking for something a little more than adventure. Something I don't suppose they can handle.
The rules of the city decree that no blood shall be spilt on its soil. They wish to spill blood which is in their nature. They always seem bloodthirsty here, from dawn to dusk, as I have seen. Even while sipping the strongest of ales, still bloodthirst rages in their eyes.
Hey, Ryder,
But
what are
it is
you
not-
doing? While he says this, sorry. Go ahead. Keep speaking through. Bruno, be ready to tell me what you're doing while he's saying this.
It is not targeted to any single person. It is just imagine like a bottle, filled to the brim, but still more water comes in. Where does it go? They must leave soon, or else an explosion is bound to happen.
Looks like it's targeted right over this direction. What's John doing at this point?
John is kind of like smiling the entire time, kind of giving that roguish. No, not that smile. More like a kind of like, oh shit, let's see what's gonna happen today. And as he sees this fucker talking to Kaioken, Kaioken just and then talks to Keksi, and Keksi's just. And this guy's fucking giving a monologue. It was like, okay, though, this is not going well. John would like to kind of like step in front of Josh. What's your character's name? Therai. He's gonna give one good attempt to lie through his fucking teeth and make them go away.
So they're here. They're like posted up. This is like, they're using this as like a stand, unless you mean to make your friends go away, because they're not going to actually go anywhere.
Oh,
They're,
not that. So I guess more like, there's no fight, there's nothing here.
you're going to try to diffuse the situation. Okay, what do you say that's going to diffuse the situation?
So as it's talking, like, hey there, there seems to be a little bit of miscommunication here. My two friends over here, the big man and the beautiful princess over there, they just got out of a very bad relationship, and they're both, how do you say, they drank way too much than they could. Forgive their demeanors. It's not what you think. And also, the big man may have, I don't know, unloaded his manhood on me by mistake. Don't ask how that happened to begin with, but that's another reason why she's so angry at the two of us. Please forgive us. We don't mean any ill will to you, my friends.
Kaioken's face definitely changes from a scowl.
What? Give me a deception check.
Oh, fuck.
So the dwarf, or the Duergar who's on top of this cart, he's only about as tall as Kaioken, right? You see him lean forward with his hands on his hips real far over the edge, and he goes, if you're about the fist boil, you can meet us back at the old Iron Golem. We're not scared of getting in a scrap. And he gets low, like his voice gets real, like quiet. Once we've killed you good and dead, we'll get some more adventurers back out that mountain. We'll forget this whole blasted town.
My friend, why would we want to get into a fight with you? There's no reason for a fight.
He's looking straight at Kaioken.
Yeah, Kaioken.
Oh, he's looking at Kaioken.
Kaioken
Did we
says,
decide whether it was going to be a wisdom save?
Hold on. We'll get to that.
hold on.
We'll get to that.
Let him finish.
Kaioken says, "Ruski that in Dwarvish. You hurt the wrong man. Jeremy wasn't the one that made us our gear, and he wasn't the one that stole your ore. Someone else. Someone named Maury. We're mad that you hurt the business establishment. He was a good man."
Does anybody else speak Dwarvish, or is it just Kaioken?
Let's see.
Do Dwarvish and Gnomish have similar crossing language?
It's like Spanish and Portuguese. It's not the same.
Yeah, like with Spanish, sometimes the words sound a little familiar to English.
Yes, but it's all just wrong. I'm just saying cheeseburger, horseshoes, hot dog, dog water.
Right. Before the man answers, this is, you have just been over, like you were talking, and he completely oversteps you, like straight over to the big man who's been scowling at him. And then there's about to be a discourse. Does anything happen? Like, how does Therai change in this moment?
Therai's left hand, the bandages around Therai's left hand begin to profusely leak a black liquid that's almost akin to tar as his voice goes much deeper, not triplicate, but almost as deep as Connor's did when he cast magic, as he looks up at the dwarf and goes,
The blood we seek is not with fist, but with death. Appease us outside the walls, and you will meet Valhalla, or whatever forsaken place you desire to go to.
So, the dwarf, or the Duergar, as Kaioken is speaking Dwarvish to him, responds back, and he goes, in Dwarvish, so nobody else is going to understand this. He's like, "You think I'm gonna believe that some man named Maury was the..." Wait, did you say his name? I think you said his name.
I said his name, Maury.
Yeah. That some man named Maury pulled one over on me, boyo.
Well, we were the ones that found your cart. He must have found your ore. Maybe he found it on the cart.
I say, good fucking riddance. A human what's trying to pretend to be a dwarf. Who gives a shit? Because if you remember correctly, Jeremy
Only
looked
dwarves
like a
can
dwarf,
work.
but he was just a human.
Oh, right.
He looked like a dwarf who was running a smithy, but he was just a human that looked like a dwarf. And so this guy clearly has taken it as he was pretending to be a dwarf.
Hmm.
And he's like, he leans in and he goes, I could give a right shit. If you want. We can go pop right back over at the Alarum Golem there and we can settle it. And then Therai says this shit to him. How does everybody react? We're going to start with Keksi.
Keksi already knew the situation was starting to escalate, but that just rocketed everything. So her demeanor is now, instead of trying to be like, instead of trying to be more offensive is when you like want to attack, right?
Yes.
Defensive is okay, and she's more now on the defense, looking for what the reaction is going to be.
Ryder, how do you react to this, what Therai says?
He's kind of like very shocked, slowly, going for his first pistol right on his right side, just kind of like on the ready, right? And then kind of just like quietly under his breath, like, fuck.
Just a
Not
side
ready
note.
for this right now.
Have you put any infusions onto your pistol?
I have not.
Okay.
He was not ready for this shit.
So, just remember, Ryder has 1 shot in his pistol.
Ryder, just remember that.
So, you have
He
1
still
shot.
has his axe. Don't worry.
Right. Just letting you know. As you kind of go, like, try to subtly, give me a sleight of hand check as you're trying to carefully do this. While he's doing that, Kaioken, how does Kaioken react to what Therai says? As this guy's talking back to you, Therai from basically, like, down your bottom left, just like, his whole demeanor just changed completely.
Yeah, and I feel like it's obvious enough that the insight wouldn't be worth it because he's talking in a very different dialect from his more peaceful facade. So I would kind of be alarmed by that. Maybe could I see the drippings of his raps? Isn't that what he said?
Yeah. Because I assume as soon as he talks, you're gonna like kind of like do this like whoa, like this whole thing, right?
Yeah.
And then
like,
that's
what
when
the
you'll notice his raps have become saturated and are like
fuck?
off
Is it
of his
black,
hand,
like ichor.
like tar. Yeah, like
Okay.
an ichor. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, and Kaioken would take note of that's kind of a strange emotional development that he hasn't seen yet. I'll look back over to the dwarf and in Dwarvish. Don't get me wrong. I agree. The humans are distasteful with their what's that word? When something populates too fast. Copulation. Maybe Kaioken wouldn't know that word. Never mind. With how fast they breed, essentially, that they're kind of like
Like a
they're
virus,
going everywhere. Yeah, they're taking over.
pestilence or whatever.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean a craftsman searching to match the skill set of a dwarf needs to be hurt in such a manner when he was the one who was innocent. And that we could like, yeah, we can go fight, but
Let me stop you there.
okay.
Because as you begin to continue this next part of what you say, 1, 2, 3, 4, they vanish, and you see the cart as they have apparently maneuvered it. So, Deus, Deucey, what are you doing? You
Sleight of hand.
After he finally lost sight of the prison, he finally stops, like, looking over his shoulder. Like, all right, it's legit. I'm free.
all right?
And yeah, he took a lot from that. So he's like, don't break the rules. Like he has a mantra going. Like,
Right.
unlike the gods, I'm going to respect somebody else's tenets. Basically, what he's trying to do now. So he's just heading towards where they said they were going.
Okay. Go ahead and make me roll me a D100. Because again, you're still not quite familiar with this place. You can recognize certain landmarks and whatnot, but nice. So you begin making your way to what you think. For you, you're like, okay, let me go back to the guard tower, like area, and then I can go Arcane Eye, take the main road, and I think if I just take the main road, we'll end up eventually back over to Adamantine Anvil. So you do that very thing when suddenly 16 guards. No, I'm kidding. As you are turning the corner from the Arcane Eye, you're heading up. Make me a perception check. At disadvantage. Because I just remembered you still have a point of exhaustion. It can get...
You're right. It
Worse.
can get worse.
There it is. You didn't notice these people, which is why they surprised the fuck out of you. As you're walking past, you literally, we're just going to say for the purposes of this, you're going to take on the surprised condition. So, as you're walking past, you kind of startle, you do that like, whoa, jump. You see 3 figures, one of which you know, 2 of which you've seen. Gerald is standing there, and 2 people. Make me a history check, because you were kind of paying attention, but you weren't really paying attention when you encountered these other 2 people. But you remember them well enough. A pale, bald, kind of sweaty. He's kind of like bald and like a light blue tint to his features, looking very dead-eyed. They're all 3 are wearing black robes. Obviously Gerald is, and then the other 2, well, not all 3. 2 of them, Gerald and the bald man, who you have seen previously, and then this elderly, like ebon-skinned woman with these tall white dreads that kind of drop back, so they go up into a pony, and then the dreads fall all the way back down to the floor. She's wearing Arcane Eye robes. All 3 of them are standing there, literally immediately to your right. Like, walking past them, you didn't notice them. Their faces are like just at your shoulder, like width away. So they're about a head's width away from your face. And you kind of stop and you look to them, and Gerald says, "You're becoming too brash. Should you draw too much attention, you will leave us only one option. Let the sheep live in ignorance. It is better for them." Do you respond?
I thought, surprised I can't.
Well, I meant like you can't take actions. You can talk.
Oh.
But like if you're gonna like, boom, and you know, anything like that, for this one instance.
He just, like, he's like, fuck, like, where'd you come from? He doesn't say anything. Like, he doesn't, like, say no, doesn't shake his head. He's just kind of, like, absorbing what he's saying. If he still doesn't say anything for a little bit, he's gonna say, because in his head, this is like the guard.
Right.
And then he just nods.
The woman, you see as she looks up, her eyes have gone, or like they haven't gone, they're completely milky white, showing like not even like a hint of iris or pupil. And she says, "Perspective is subjective. You should watch your surroundings to gain a stronger foothold. Failing to see means certain doom."
Fairy godmother. He just like shifts his head over to that sound, or to her, and just shakes his head. I mean, not shakes, nods his head slowly, like absorbing what she's saying now.
Are you going to do anything further?
Can I get their? I know black girl, white hair.
Right.
Gerald.
Gerald.
And that was the eye guy.
The eye guy? Oh, twinkly eyes, yes. Yes, you can, I mean, yeah. The black skinned, black hair, like black, like color crayon black, everything. And in his eyes, which are abnormally large, and his smile, which is almost Cheshire Cat-like, you can see in his eyes starlight.
But these guys are from the Arcane Eye, is what I'm saying.
No. Gerald is wearing all black cloak with a upside down trident pendant, which is the symbol of the Black Veil. The light blue skinned bald man who looks like he's perspiring all over, who's got a dead-eyed stare. He is also wearing a black robe with an upside down trident pendant. And then
so Black Veil looking people.
And then the gal, the darker complexioned lady with the white dread ponytail that goes down to the floor, she is wearing Arcane Eye robes. And you saw the other two, not Gerald, but you saw the other two when you guys were traveling into Karan, like 2 days ago. You guys passed directly between these two as they were sitting down in the middle of the road. Your cart passed right between them, and they both kind of like looked your direction and then continued talking.
Alright. So, alright. Yeah, he doesn't say anything. He just nods.
Okay. They're just standing still.
He wouldn't turn his back to them, but he kind of sidestep and then kind of backwards and then keep going.
As you go to sidestep, Gerald reaches his hand out to touch your shoulder.
All right. He's ready.
Right.
But he doesn't draw anything. He just stops.
He touches your shoulder. And in your mind, obviously he didn't say the first thing, but in your mind he goes, I believe the leash was a little too long. Time to tighten the reins. Make me a Constitution saving throw.
I'm gonna use inspiration.
What did you roll?
A 3.
Yeah, use inspiration.
How do you spell reins?
Also, it's not coming through on the, it might be mine, but I'm not getting it on Roll20. Are the rest of you guys getting it on Roll, or I mean on D&D Beyond?
I'm just looking at roll 20.
That's a 20, baby.
You got a 20.
There it is. Nice. Yeah. You feel this incredibly sharp pain. Like, it almost feels like a nail driving straight into the side of your temple. And your vision goes a little bleary. And you stop and you focus and you're able to shake it off.
I'm gonna run. Oh, sorry.
Okay, so it feels like, even after your eyes kind of come back and you're like, what the fuck is that? It still feels, you know when you get like a tension headache and you take like ibuprofen, you can still feel like, I know it's there still. It's dull.
Yeah.
But you have staved it for the time being at least. So.
Yeah, as soon as that happens, he's gonna take off.
Okay. You, Ladasha. All right. And at some point you kind of do that whole like look back, make sure they're not like chasing you just briefly, and you see them all. They've all kind of turned towards you until a cart passes by, and then they do that, you know, the thing that every bad guy does. is they vanish. But not before you hear, "It is not good to stay put. You will grow stagnant." And you instinctively know it is from the bald man. As you continue. So, you are going to make your way towards, everybody here has been doing the Arcane Eye, or has been going to the Adamantine Anvil until your respective events have happened, right? So, we are going to cut back to the rest of the party. As the cart, like, rights itself or whatever, you know what I mean? Like, gets back to movement being off of it. What does everybody want to do?
Keksi's just gonna say, like, through her teeth, cowards.
let me stop you right there. Keksi goes to say through her teeth, "You are becoming too brash, young ones. Should you draw too much attention, we have only one option. Let the sheep live in ignorance. It's better for them." Comes out of Keksi's mouth. And yeah, Keksi, you're like,
100%.
Whoa!
I cover my mouth.
Deep voice.
Where's the Adam's apple? I can't see it.
We should go now.
is
We're
what Kaioken wants to say, except Kaioken says, perspective is subjective. Watch your surroundings to gain a stronger foothold. Failing to see means certain doom.
Okay. John's gonna respond with
I'm like shaking John like like trying to say other things, but it's coming out as
I was shaking like
boom.
I don't know what the fuck is coming out of your mouth, but John does not like it.
Oh my god.
The Rai's face, like, back is turned towards all of them, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna look at him also and kind of do like,
The hammer drops.
start talking right now and let's see what you say.
The hammer drops, and in one swift motion, the tail brings it up to the left hand as it grabs, and then brings it up for a swing as he turns around to face them and goes,
Who uses the mouth of my friends?
Make
What
me
do
a
I sound
perception
like
check,
instead?
Therai and Ryder.
Session?
I don't make a weird sound. Yay.
Ryder's just fucking confused at this point.
Then make it a disadvantage, Ryder.
Oh, fuck you.
20 total.
Well, you
It can't get any worse than that. Can't get any worse than that. Therai, you notice, standing on top of the cart, the wagon, is 3 figures. One is this older looking human, kind of resembling human looking man, but he wears black robes with an upside down gold trident pendant, which you know is the black veil. He's got black skin. He has black hair, a beard that kind of goes long a little bit. This incredibly wide smile, like abnormally wide. It kind of almost literally goes ear to ear. And these big saucer-like eyes with starlight. Next to him stands this kind of taller, lightish blue-skinned man who has dead eyes, who also is wearing a trident pendant, which of course you know is black veil. He looks as though he is perspiring from his bald, pallid skin. And then next to them is this older, dark-complexioned lady with a white dreads that ties up, and then the dreads go all the way down to the floor behind her with milky white eyes. She's wearing white and gold robes, symbolizing Arcane Eye. Her sigil has an eye with 7 points on it. As you turn and look, the rest of you would follow Therai's eyes. Keksi needs you to make me a wisdom saving throw. As she does that... Okay. You, ma'am, are considered frightened. Mechanically. As you witness the purveyor of your curse that you had to spend an unknown amount of time with as he attempted to torture you before you came back to consciousness.
Which one?
Yeah, my eyes are locked on the bald man.
And
I'm still unable to move.
out loud, he says, "It is not good to stay put. You will grow stagnant." And you see he kind of reaches for his chin like this, and the rest of you can see the trident brand on his hand. None of you saw this firsthand, but Deus had said that he saw a hand holding the magical barbed wire garrote that had an imprint of the trident burned into it.
Who are you? My notes.
Where are my notes? I gotta write it down in my diary.
So, are you asking that to one person or all of them?
Just because they all apparated, right? They're like the dwarves got off, and then it's like they're right there, right? They're on the carts, or they're just around.
Oh yeah, they're on top of the cart.
Like, yeah. Who are like? Were you the dwarves? Sort of like what? That's what maybe Kaioken's thinking.
In Kaioken's head, Gerald would respond with, Kaioken, you know exactly who I am. I believe you have not met my companions. Should they wish to respond, they will.
Is this all in my head?
Yes.
In my head, trying to respond back.
Where's Yomi? He spoke with you when we were at Mount Sararan.
Yes, I remember my feathered child. He is at home. Therai, what are you doing?
Because I know what calm Therai would think.
You are not calm, Therai.
Your blood or theirs, it doesn't matter.
Make me a charisma saving throw. So, something happens. The rest of you hear, your blood or theirs, it does not matter. None of them even look at him. None of them make any motion or anything. Therai, suddenly the world seems a lot bigger. And you are hungry. A lot bigger. Huh. There's some stale breadcrumbs just underneath this cart. You should go eat them. As the rest of you see Therai anamorph into a rat and move underneath. You can look up rat. You have the intelligence of a rat, the wisdom, all of the stats of a rat. As you have been transformed into a rat.
Ew, gross. What's that?
Step on it, quick, do it. Kill the rat. So John,
Angry squeaks.
what's going on through John's mind?
John sees this guy kind of just, start threatening, and is that thinking like, okay, this can go either one or two ways. They'll take his challenge and then leave, fight, or probably both. And then turns
One of two, would you give three?
Then he turns his around like, huh, unexpected. You're not gonna turn us into a rat, are you?
I expected not to expect it.
Oh, this isn't good. Does John see them, and does anything click into his head? Does he recognize anything that what these fuckers may
You would have
be?
never seen these people in your entire life.
Oh, I never should have been mutinied.
So, Keksi, what are you doing? As you are now, like, you're terrified. The guy who was wrapping you in barbed wire, who has taken your shadow and replaced it with whatever this thing is that you're currently attached to.
Yeah. Yeah, I am fixated on him only in a sense that, like, like when you see a car crash, you can't look away. It's in that way. Like, I'm frightened, but he has all of my attention, and I'm stuck in place. There's no movement. There's not even really like anything. Looks like it doesn't even look like there's anything going on in Keksi's eyes. She's just blank, staring at him.
Speaking of which, as you are doing this and you're staring at this fella, he looks to you and he goes, "I let you get away once. I'm willing to let you walk for now. But I want my shadow back." So, in your head, Kaioken, you were responding to him saying that Yomi is home. And then Therai went, and then turned into a rat, and is currently feasting on the breadcrumbs that are at the bottom of the thing. What do you want to do from here?
After he gives that, I feel like I can kind of make an assumption of what he's alluding to, home being his home. Or, I mean, like, the mountain was his home. Maybe not, but...
is that what you're thinking in your mind?
That is what I am thinking. Or Kaioken
is that what
thinking.
Kaioken is thinking?
That is what Kaioken... Yes, we are the same person.
So,
Obviously,
if that's what Kaioken is thinking, you start beginning to think, you're picturing Mount Asarin, the home, yada yada yada, and then you start thinking of a shack, a sea shanty shack, a kind of like you remember Monster House, the movie? It looks like that, but on a beach. The door is red, has an upside down trident mark on it. Yomi looks through the shutters and goes back. You know those aren't your thoughts.
Yeah, I'm like, as that happens, he's like shaking his head and then like slowly looks up back to Gerald. And, like, your accomplice said that we shouldn't stay in one place, that we'd become stagnant. Are you asking us to leave?
I'm saying, well, he responds with, Yomi has asked about you. He has gotten the opportunity to scry once or twice, but he waits.
So that's good. That's good. I wasn't sure if he had...
Oh, he is a good boy. You know his kind don't live very long. Luckily for him, he has been granted immortality.
I'm sure he's happy with that. But
visit
at what cost?
sometime.
Where?
No response. Therai? That bread is pretty damn good, man. I mean, it's stale, but bro, it was like seasoned and shit. It is. Yeah, it's like no, it's not sourdough. It's like
brioche.
You know, what is it? Yeah, something that's got a lot of grains and nuts and seeds inside. So it was like a meal within a meal, man. What do you want to do? Do you want to find more, or perhaps maybe? I mean, you smell everything. You can smell fucking, there's like lobster and fish and crabs and sausage. I mean, the world is your oyster. You can go make some ratatouille if you wanted to. Do you want to go find food? Do you want to... Oh, I don't know. Do you want to try to like find a nice warm place to stay? What does Therai, as a rat, with a -4 to his intelligence modifier and a -3 to his charisma, what's the base what's the base thing that this is? What do you want to do, man?
We say that I want to shed blood for the blood god.
If you want to. I mean, you don't feel things like anger. You know what I mean? You don't feel emotions.
But
You just know-
that beast be sounding pretty good though. So it's time to go find some more food. Therai himself hasn't eaten on purpose in a while, so
Right.
this food tastes pretty good.
All of a sudden the plumbing starts working again. You're like, dude, I need to.
morning.
I gotta take a shit now. Fuck.
Yeah, but he ate just for the sake of not making you guys feel weird while he just like stared at you. He didn't need to. So, yeah, you're gonna just like fuck off and go find some more shit, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, Ryder. Dude, everybody's been standing in silence for quite some time. And then all of a sudden, this very off-putting looking gentleman with the blue skin, the bald head, the brand on his hand, tells Keksi what he says, and, you know. Are you gonna respond in any way?
Ah, man. Ryder is... like, all senses are firing off, saying, like, he should not open his fucking mouth anymore. If something
Perfect.
happens, he's gonna turn worse. Something worse than a rat. What's worse than a rat?
2 rats.
Exactly.
Well,
Half a rat, actually.
Jesus.
then in that case, Deus. You're running, dude. You are full trucking, right? You're heading to the... Roll me a good old D-Hundy, my boy. Come on, my boy. Had to do it to him, my boy.
Low.
Bro. Here's the scene. So, you're running down the street, you see a rat and you kick it. No, I'm kidding. So, you come running, right? And you're like, you're like, I gotta get to adamantine anvil. Here we go. You damn near run fucking head first right into the group of people, your companions, sans Therai. As you meet right up with them, as you guys are on this main thoroughfare. Deus, you see, Kaioken's kind of like, he has his thinky face on, right? Keksi looks terrified. John looks a little nervous. Therai is nowhere to be seen.
I'm free.
Does he see Gerald on the cart?
Do the rest of you guys turn to Deus as he says, I'm free?
Before we did do that, or am I able to do a perception to see if there's anybody else around us? Has it seemed like the world has stopped, or is there people walking around? Like,
Go ahead and
nothing's
give
happening?
me a perception check.
And this isn't at disadvantage, right? Well, if I'm feared, I just don't remember what all the
No,
conditions
I think
are.
it's just attack rolls have disadvantage as long as you're supposed to your fears with
okay.
insight.
I just wanted to make sure because I didn't remember off the top of my head. Ooh, bing bong, 21.
Nice. Bing bong.
Here's the weird thing. It's not that everybody, like the world has stopped. It's like you guys don't even exist.
Ah, like
People are walking right between you guys in this cart, completely blinded. Just like, meh, all right. But they do split almost as if it's like natural for them to take these paths to not be in your guys' way.
Okay.
Until Deus says, I'm free.
I just like shake my head like for a moment of clarity. Deus's like voice like brings me back to like
I think it's-
sort of.
I think it's safe to assume that everybody kind of, oh shit.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
of course,
Yeah.
as fate would have it, you look over, look back, and they're gone. And that is where we're going to take a break.
Yes.
Wow.
Okay. So, here we are. Now, question. What do you guys want to do? The rest of the group, sans Therai.
What's the
Well-
situation right now? Can you just refresh me on? Are they still present?
Oh,
Nope, they did the old Kansas City shuffle when Deus came in and went, "Hey, I'm free," and you guys looked over, looked back, and they were gone.
Yeah. Like Houdini's, they just left without a trace.
So, well,
No, go ahead.
I mean, everyone's going through their own things. So I'm guessing no one really says anything.
Nope.
So Dave's just gonna like look around the room and just kind of, oh, well, okay, and then find somewhere to sit.
Keksi feels like the fear start to fade and subside, and looks back to the cart. Is there anything going on? Is it still there? Is there anything going on with it?
Completely empty. In fact, it doesn't even have the footlocker on it that you guys saw one of them rifling around with. But you guys would know that they did say if you guys wanted a fisticuffs, they were gonna meet you back at the Iron Golem.
So
They could settle up
Presence-
there.
So Presence, I think, basically gave me a warning and let me go, but I have the feeling I'm on very thin ice in this town.
Oh, I'm good. You didn't kill him. I'm glad you didn't kill him because that would be bad. And it's good you didn't. That's what I meant to say. So we just saw some people. There was this like crazy black-skinned guy with twinkly eyes, and a sweaty man, and then a dark-skinned woman with white hair, and they just
I saw those people on the way over here.
Yeah. Did they look like dwarves first, and then they turned into those people, or were they just those people?
No, they kind of surprised the crap out of me when I was walking over here.
Okay. Similar.
They said,
Click. Popsicle. Chomp.
yeah, it's the girl with the white hair, the Joe with the black veil and the Arcane Eye, and there's that sweaty guy.
Yep. The thing I just said. Yep.
And they said these lines to me, basically not to stay stagnant.
Yeah, they said the same thing to us also. I think we should maybe get out of town for a little bit.
I don't know if I'm
we just
allowed
had
to get out of town.
Well, we just had an engagement with the quotation pantomime dwarves that they I think we pissed them off and they're ready to like fight, so I think that job's kind of like out the window. But I think that they are subjugating or at least they're killing off the last of the dwarves that are in the mountain. From what I know about dwarves, it's kind of a long story. Maybe we should like go get a drink or eat. Who's thirsty, hungry? Do we have any errands?
I could definitely
John.
use a drink.
Yep.
Me too.
What was it that you wanted to do, real quick?
And John's kind of like, after everything that's happened, these two are talking. He's kind of like, hold on a second. 1, 2, 3.
Oh God. Yeah.
Come on.
Perfect.
Where the fuck are you?
I had some questions for him.
But where'd he go?
Wait.
You know,
check your boots. Oh, God.
interestingly enough, hey, Therai, roll me a D100, please.
You find the ultimate mousetrap. It's a bag of holding.
Sick.
You fall in,
Dude,
suck
you
it.
find, wait, hold on to your butts. Grab your butts and hold them.
A nuclear bomb. It goes off as soon as you approach.
Actually, sir, you
Dead box.
find, where the hell did it go? Okay. You travel. Time. Space. Who fucking, you don't care. You're a rat. You're looking for the best possible food and the warmest. You're basically fightful. And you're going east this time.
He's a little Jew mouse.
So,
Okay, well, we didn't need to go that far, man.
so you come across this building. Looks super familiar somehow, but it's so foggy and cloudy. As you kind of like trail your way to the side of the building, there's a little tiny hole. Inside of that hole, dude, you could smell the best food in your whole life. This building is like tall, whatever, made out of wood, probably. Who knows? You find a hole that looks like it was chewed through by one of your other, rat companions, so to be called from here forth. You find a nice little meep, and you work your way in. Inside of this, while they're having this conversation, you're off doing your own thing. Dude, there's like a whole room full of food. You've got cheese wheels. You've got like dried herbs. You've got this big ass barrel. Climbing to the top of it, it's completely open. There's a lot of salt and meat just inside of this one big ass barrel. It is absolutely heaven. You've been a rat now for like, I don't know, time. But you're inside of the storeroom, dude, and you've got food galore. What do you want to do?
I feel like we're describing the trailer for Ratatouille too. This is how the trailer opens.
I've got the script right here.
Oh,
It says "Eat me."
Preparation.
Yep. What do you want to do, man?
Listen, I'm a dumb rat.
Oh
That
god.
food smells pretty good. I'm gonna go get some.
Fuck yeah, you are. And do you go to town until you hear.
Ah,
Oh shit.
it's the buzz.
So, your adrenaline fucking spikes, right? You're like, oh no. You can't see it, but you can hear. Let's see here, one sec. Ooh, that's not good. Right. Let's see here. What is your AC?
10.
What is the AC of that rat
it's a 10,
bastard?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So
It's
I'm gonna need
straight
you.
10.
I'm gonna need you to roll me a d20, please.
Oh, bitch.
You know,
As-
not really a bad way to go, honestly. You
As a
turn it
cat-
around, you get eaten.
Pounces.
Going for the death
All right.
Yahtzee.
So this cat goes and drops right down the old Tom and Jerry. You're underneath this cat as it just barely missed its mark. You want to run? You can see a light source. It's kind of hard to tell, but you're on you're up on top of this barrel, and you could just drop right down and pew, right out of that. Fuck yeah, dude. You do it, kind of scurry underneath this thing, and starts chasing you and whatnot. You go through underneath this door, and you're out. Suddenly, there's like people and shit that are everywhere, dude. They're super tall. They're walking around. There's a bunch of like loud noises and shit, and so you dart across. You come out of this door, out from underneath this door, and there is like a countertop, or there's like this big structure, and then right directly in front of you, there's like all these little glasses underneath this big structure. They're on like these shelves. So you dart across, and as this cat bursts through a cat door that was in the door that you snuck underneath, runs right in. I'm gonna need you to make me an acrobatics check. If this thing doesn't have,
It has
acrobatics,
dex.
it has this. So roll me a dex check then. What do we got? 10? Oof.
10.
Man, yeah, you're rolling through. You're trying to get through like around all of these glasses as this cat is just shattering glass. You're god damn it, this fucking cat. Is he even doing his fucking job? And you see this fucking hand come out as you're trying to go through underneath this thing, this hand comes out and is trying to grab either you or the cat. I need you to make me a dexterity save. Now, if you don't have dex save as, what do you call it? Then you can just grab a dex check again, as it's basically the same thing.
Got it.
Oof. Dude, you are dodging, ducking, and weaving and bobbing. This cat can't get a hold of it. Dude grabs the cat, throws the cat. You just hear, wow! As you, as the cat, it's almost like that chase sequence where they're showing you, and then this cat just like, and then you just see a hand,
It's
and then, right?
What
Yeah.
is it? The Crash Bandicoot level? The ball
Yeah,
behind
yeah,
it?
exactly. With the ball behind it. Yeah, exactly. So you're like, hey, you think you're safe? Do you have stealth? If not, make another dex check.
I've got Dex.
Then make another dex check, because you're gonna attempt to like really hide. It's his hand. Oh god damn it. Where the fuck?
16.
And then the head looks down. And what you see is this like, first what you see is like the shoulder and like arm of a guy who like gets down. Where the fuck? And it's this big like flannel. This dude with a pretty nice cropped beard come like looking down. Like, where the hell? Rather younger guy, super burly, crazy muscly, right? Comes he goes, where the fuck? Alright, fine. Must have gotten away. So, party. John goes, where the fuck is that guy? And was like, yeah, I got questions for him. What are you guys doing? You guys want to search for Therai?
I was just gonna say first before all of that comes to be apparent to me, Keksi is having mental gymnastics why an Arcane Eye member is with Black Veil. And because I don't have a whole lot of information, the pieces do not fit, and it's like putting a fucking star shape into a triangle.
So you gotta just turn it on its side and then it goes in. Or just use the rectangle. Everything fits in the rectangle.
Just smash it in. You'll be
Yeah.
fine.
And then, when John is like, what? Where's that other guy? And then Keksi immediately realizes that Therai is not with the party.
Juicy?
Where was the last place you guys saw him?
Right there.
Right there.
See the
Right
little
about where you're
black
standing.
spots on the ground. He started dripping out of his hand, and he said some really weird stuff. I can't even recall it.
Deus
Yeah, you
know
would
that
you would see some tar on the ground in the like light drip pattern.
Deus goes over that spot to look around.
Maybe he got melted.
No, I saw the entire thing. Well, I saw the entire thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, they turned him into a fucking rat. A ratatus verminis.
Uh-oh.
You're just saying this now.
I said that like I feel like I'm but whatever. He's a rat. He's not there. He's gone. Who else can we hire?
Can everyone freeze for a moment?
Check your boots. Check your
Are
feet.
you saying that to just the group or like
I'm
everybody?
trying to say it out loud to like the place we're at.
Okay,
We're
yeah, you
outside.
guys are
We're
off of the main street. So go ahead and give me a persuasion check. At disadvantage because you are exhausted. Oof.
Can only get worse.
Big oof in
wait,
chat.
By not much. Nice.
Wait. If someone
You-
turned into a rat, that's fucking magic. So that's not good.
So he says, "Oh, sorry."
I was gonna say, a few people stop and go, "What?"
I seem to have lost my pet mouse. Can everyone make sure we're not stepping on it as we look for it?
If I find a rat, I'm fucking smushing it. Yeah, fuck that. Rats are
Pretty sure I
gross.
take out the giant club. Like, where is it?
It's sentimental and it's
No.
if anyone
To be fair, he said mouse, not rat, so there's a
finds
difference.
it, I will get return it. I'll give them 5 gold.
I'll give you 10 gold if you let me smash it.
If you smush it, I'll fucking shoot you.
You see about 3 or 4 people go, and they like scatter. They're like, yeah, fuck yeah, and then they run off. Like they're about to start looking for your pet rat. Oh, one of them goes. One of them goes. Are you gonna stay here?
We'll be here for at least a bit, but we won't be here that long.
Well, if I find it, where can I get you?
God, just find the rat. Find the rat. We'll be right here. One of us will at least be here.
We Deus would remember that Keksi paid for another night at the adamantine.
He does, but he doesn't want to say where he'll go.
Yeah,
he just had a bad experience with that.
Oh,
So John will say, I will be here. Okay, doesn't matter if they leave. I will be here. Bring the rat to me.
And Deus is just gonna start. You know, if I was a rat. Whoa.
Hey, Deus, roll me.
people are
Roll me a
bringing
D8.
random rats to this location.
Yeah, I'm thinking about that.
Better get a box or a basket to put them all in.
I got a really
am I
nice
wrong?
jug you can put him in.
Oh God. Oh God.
Jelly belly hungry.
I don't like that.
You roll me a D8.
As soon as you run out of your polymorph hit points, you turn back into your person.
Deus, D8.
The arcane.
Oh,
caster.
I didn't know what you said.
Oh yeah, go ahead and roll me a D8. Holy shit, dude! Like, how long are you guys waiting to stay there?
I mean, I'd be searching too. And I wouldn't leave the area unless I saw a trail leaving the area. Like, if I saw a trail of just scared Therai poop, you know.
Right.
So he generally stayed in the area because he thought maybe Therai would stay in the area.
Like 10 minutes. Not even. Like 3 people come back each with like they're collectively they've caught like around 10 fucking rats.
God
They're
damn
like,
it.
all right, man, we found these ones. This one was in my house. This one was over here at this stand over here. There's one that's dead. It's got a rat trap on it. He was like, I don't know, could be. Here you go. Are any of these it?
Therai, are one of those you, buddy?
Well, Deus, you don't remember your best friend, your rat?
I don't know. Do you guys know what my rat would respond to?
I mean, they all kind of look similar. Maybe touch them on the nose like you always used to do and see if they give you a little smooch. Remember how you used to do that?
You poke the dead one? You poke the dead one.
I'm just used to having these characters in this,
Ew,
in this
its
fashion.
brains are coming out of its eyes. I don't think that one's gonna say anything.
You get it? Because this character's usually dead.
Yeah.
Alright, he starts thumping them in the head with his finger.
They're not all dead.
No, only one of them is dead.
He just starts
but you start hitting these rats with your finger.
Just like a thump.
Yeah, you said with your plated gauntlet. No, so you like tapping on it. You agitate the shit out of these rats.
Oh, remember, you used to give them kisses all the time. Come on, give them kisses.
No, I don't think any of these are my pet rat. But he does take out 2 gold or 4 gold.
Rats on average have 1 hit point, so press too hard and they might explode.
One sec.
Take it back.
So, where did we just leave off? Totally just fucking spaced. The rest of the group.
I got a whole 2 things full of rats.
Right, and you poked them. None of them. They seemed agitated.
So last
but-
thing that happens is I took out 2 gold. they didn't give me my rat, I'm gonna give them each a gold. Thanks for trying.
Thanks. Oh, thanks, man. And you see them like literally just take the box of rats and just shatter it against the wall. Like, yeah. These rats,
You didn't.
and then they. So.
My brothers, no.
Lifesaver. Give yourself inspiration if you have it. Oh, then give it to someone else. Also, inspiration for Deus, inspiration for Therai, just everybody give yourselves inspiration if you don't already have it.
Oh, okay, I'll take it.
Yeah, because this has been very
for guy with the dialing knobs. Inspiration for
yep. Arbitrarily turning knobs and pulling dials. Yeah,
not you, Bruno. No, not
right.
you.
Bullshit.
Okay, so not much. Deus gives the 2 gold to the 2 common folk who come back with these rats that aren't Therai. You guys gonna continue to look for Therai?
I'm gonna kind of go up to like my crew and be like,
right.
It'd be a lot easier if I could detect magic.
I mean, I can do that, but it's not like I know what it is.
Can I
We're good at tracking. We know where it originated from.
Can I kneel down to my shadow and ask it if it knows what way Therai went?
You're gonna look at her very confused.
Give me a persuasion check.
Dave's just gonna eye his shadow real quick.
Your shadow head. You're like you lean down and your shadow leans like about 3 seconds after you leans down in the same squat position. And you ask it the question and it
Is it pointing to its own head or is it
Dude,
pointing
this is
to
a 2D object. I have no fucking clue. Yeah, I don't know. You wouldn't be able to tell, right? Either it's pointing to its own head or it's pointing to this direction. It just does this.
I'm going to point my arm out in that direction. Does it do anything?
Head cricks to the side. You see, it's really weird because it is your shadow, right? Your shadow profile, right? So like you're looking at it and then you see the side of your head, your profile.
Yeah.
And it nods a certain direction.
Okay. It's always very odd interaction for Keksi because when you see your shadow, you know it's supposed to be moving along with you. So she almost starts to mimic as if it's supposed to be natural.
As if you are now the shadow.
Exactly. So, and she kind of signals to the group to like.
Give me an investigation check.
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, it's not good. 18.
Yeah, you kind of like follow to do the same movement, and you can see the adamantine anvil a couple of blocks down.
What do we?
You do remember Therai saying that had the best food in town. For a tavern.
Now, everybody, do you guys? Well, hold on a second. What do we know?
Really care about Therai?
What do we know about rats?
They're like food, and they poop everywhere, and they poop in their food.
They're relentless.
Very fast.
They're relentless little buggers that just don't stop.
Actually, they're not as fast as cats.
As
aligned.
as we're discussing everything and I'm looking at the adamantine anvil where we're staying, right?
Wait, Deus, what did you say? They're not aligned?
Yeah, they're not good or evil.
Nosebleed.
Oh shit, they're animals. I mean, I can detect good and evil.
I think
I mean, what about a bear?
Not good or evil.
Keksi's gonna start walking to the
which
adamantine anvil.
Which bear is best?
Oh God.
No.
Black bear is best.
What does Keksi do?
Brown,
She's walking
bear.
towards the adamantine anvil.
Battlestar
Okay.
Galactica.
It follows.
Nerd.
There's follows. Keep an eye out.
Now, if I remember correctly, Therai had previously said that this place has the best food in town.
How would a
You
mouse
had
go
that
over
big
here?
breakfast we had, right? You know, it's 2 eggs and a sausage.
Well, how do rats find their food?
Then will they go for the best shaped
Smell?
foods?
Exactly.
Best shape.
Best shape foods.
The best shaped foods. I think they said they had corn dogs and boiled eggs on the menu tonight.
Ooh.
So gross.
Smelly.
So, speaking of which, we're gonna go ahead and cut right back to Therai.
Boy.
Hey, man. You
What's going on? I'm a rat bastard.
you dodged the human for now.
Hey.
You are feeling pretty full because you got a good few bites into that meat just before that damn cat got you. What do you want to do? Are you looking for somewhere to sleep?
Or sleep with.
Oh, I don't know. You know, there was that hole I entered in. I could maybe sleep there.
I mean, maybe. Sure.
Yeah, I mean that cat's not gonna get in it, right?
Oh, okay, here's the thing. The hole that you slept in would be fucking perfect. So I
Yeah.
assume you're gonna scurry around, try to. Okay. Right. Well, he's inside of a shelf right now with glasses, so he's pretty well hidden. So he can just beep, 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 right back over. In fact, it's a lot more room than there was before because that cat had smashed away all these other glasses, right? And then they came and they cleaned it up, and you were able to just. So you get yourself to where you're like right across, and you fucking dart. You scurry up underneath the door, and you find yourself back in that storeroom. And you're gonna go for the hole?
Yeah.
As you go into this hole, there's a loud crash. Shit like the table as Therai comes back to his full form, and you hear, "The fuck was that?" Fucking door throws open. Fucking Andar comes in. The third goes, "The fuck are you doing in here, man? What are you trying to steal food from me?"
Wait a second.
Yes.
Ooh.
He's a hungry boy.
No.
It
Angry
doesn't
boy.
matter what I'm doing here. Get out of my way.
As Therai starts walking out.
Quick question.
Yep.
Make me, actually not a question. Make me an athletics check.
Oh damn you.
Quick
Hey,
question. Can you roll an
Kaioken,
athletics check?
make me an athletics check.
You couldn't apologize.
Oh.
Okay. 19.
Oh no, the fuck you don't, as he picks you up and just with one hand lifts you up off the ground. He goes, "Whoa, whoa, whoa there, sport. I got a problem. You got a room, but you're not trying to pay for dinner."
I don't want your stupid food. Get out of my way. I have someone to kill.
Yep. All right. cut to outside of the adamantine anvil. As the rest of you guys go walking up, and through the wall next to the door, Therai goes sailing through. Go ahead and roll me 3d10.
I'm sailing away.
This will be the only time that your low rolls will benefit you. So hope.
Oh!
You take 19 points of bludgeoning damage as you slam through the wall of this
You
thing.
couldn't apologize. You could have just said like, "Oh, I'm sorry. I got turned
there's
into a
a-
fucking rat."
Listen,
There's a thing.
Normal
There's a
Therai,
thing.
Yes.
Yeah, you take
Angie
19
boy.
points of damage as you go sailing through, and he comes back out, and you just see him just. If you ever want to test your fucking metal again, come on down to the forge, you son of a bitch. And he walks away.
There he is.
Do I know
As
what-
everybody else sees this, you guys are like, whoa.
Separate best.
Is the Forge like a secret fight club?
Yeah.
Wait, that's a
Therai
no,
wouldn't know
'cause
this.
it's Iron. That's the Iron Golem, right?
No.
Kaioken
Iron Golem
might
is
know
some-
something about this. So would John.
Oh, well, look at that. I chuckled.
Therai would know nothing.
So we see this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I say there he is. I'm gonna go over to Therai and help him get up if he hasn't already gotten up.
I mean, Therai would be mostly helping himself.
All right.
And if I think
Kick him
if
while
you
he's
try
down.
to help him
Fine.
His hands slippery.
Stay the fuck down. It just turns into the JoJo meme.
Make me another wisdom save, because you took a pretty significant fucking tumble. Yeah, you come back to your wits.
Where did you go, Therai?
I sought out food.
Well,
I don't
without us?
know.
Why'd you leave? Wait, no. John told me you turned into a rat. Why would you do that?
Oh, Jesus. Big man, he didn't do it on purpose.
I don't know. Can you turn into a rat?
Why
can
would
turn
you-
into a lot. Hey,
Why
I can
would
turn
you
into a
don't
lot
know.
of things.
Yeah, but you have control over it. I mean, he got turned into a rat. When he gets turned into a rat, my friend, he
Hey,
thinks
Time
like
Master.
a rat.
I mean, we just met this guy. Maybe turning into a rat is just something he does.
Is
You
that
should
true?
know, Timekeeper, that polymorph lasts an hour, and it just went out.
Oh,
All things considered, I think you guys are pushing about 5 o'clock.
I think now that everyone's back together and Therai seems to be okay. You look a little banged up, but he'll survive. We really need to go see Grimtooth. I have so many more questions now.
it's a little early, but yeah. Let's. Who wants
He
to
did
go?
have answer. I would like to.
We should just all stick together. Come on, Deus.
Yeah.
I'm glad you're not in jail. I'm sorry what happened.
Oh, there
I got scared. I got cornered. Hey, you know what? You should, teach me how to talk to people. I feel like my dialect from my day and age is different from your dialect in this era, and maybe you could help coach me with
Good.
the lingo. I want to be hip. I want to use the jargons that you people youngins do. This was a different
John?
time. Can we stick together, please?
So,
Yes, I agree.
so as Kaioken's kind of saying all that, giving his rousing speech, John's kind of just kind of walk towards the group in total, kind of facing Kaioken, going, "Kaio, we just kind of reunited. I ran into him. I ran into Rat Boy over there. Made up with you guys. Met up with some fake dwarves.
Yeah.
Met some crazy guys who
Business as usual.
who I will let you know, in the last 200 years that I've been alive, scared the shit out of me.
Yep.
What the fuck is going on?
You know, a lot of shit is going on.
Okay, sum it up in 30 seconds.
And them witches be bitches, and we don't know which witches are the exact bitches because there's a lot of different variables.
Oh shit, son! Sounds like you need some help, and we just do the old high five, smackety smack.
Secret handshakey.
I said I retired from this life. You son of a bitch.
You son of a bitch, I'm in.
Have you seen Love and Thunder yet? Like human handshake, Asgardian handshake.
Oh yeah,
Snake that spines, that strikes. Do something stupid like that.
Jesus.
Like, all right, look. So do you remember that big goblin, the big white one? His name was Grimtooth. You know, we used one of the wishes from the wish ring that we bought from the auction. And then we blew up the phylactery that we sold for $1 million fucking gold. Well, he's super pissed and he's still alive.
He's still alive?
Yeah, we have to go talk to him. You will go.
You don't think he's
Can you please go with us?
I mean, is that a good idea? Wasn't it me blowing shit up?
No, it was kind of me because I had the wish ring. Remember, I keistered it in my butthole for years.
You sure it wasn't me? I was throwing up a lot of grenades back then. I don't remember.
I know.
It was wild times back then.
The concussions hurt my memory too, oddly enough. Isn't that weird?
It's weird.
But anyways, so this guy has actually
He's
helped
super
Keksi.
pissed.
He's super pissed. So Keksi, he actually helped Keksi, and he kind of also turned me to stone for 100 years. Once I was like in my melancholy state of like, life is finally good, and then black, and then I wake up and nothing's the same 100 years later. And he had a pretty good punchline, you know, stone man turned to stone.
Yeah,
and, you know, ironically funny. I can't fault him for
So
it.
you guys are gonna go to Grimtooth. That's what it sounds like. You guys are really ready to go.
We're walking and talking. Walk it like I talk it.
Walk it like a tuck it.
Let's
All right.
put some caps and asses. Let's do it.
Yes.
All right, cats and asses. Here we go. So you guys make your way early. To he did say by 7:30 or whatever, by tomorrow evening. So you're fine. As you approach, the door, yeah.
It like sprint out. And
As actually, this time they're just sweating. No, as you guys approach, when you approach up to the top of this entranceway, the door opens by itself. I assume you guys enter.
Yeah, I think they know we're coming.
Yeah.
The mudroom, like vestibule area in the middle, has that green or the yellow, soft glowing gem in the middle. Door closes behind you guys as you all enter. Deus, are you entering or no?
So he'd kind of stand back, but he's like, you know, I need to get myself fixed. So he goes in.
All right. So
I need answers.
enter in. The yellow glow happens. All of your magic items, anything magical that is on you, is immediately whomp. It is illuminated with their various things, like the blood or the bone dagger is illuminated. The mantle has a soft white glow. Let's see what else.
My cloak.
Your cloak you don't have anymore because you gave that to Xixis because he said he could destroy it.
Would my hand mirror be magical?
Your hand mirror does glow. It glows it glows, what is that? Fucking purple? I can never remember what. Anyways, I'll figure it out.
Yeah, the color.
Yeah, it glows a color. The rune that is on Deus's hammer, Skullbreca, actually glows. The rune itself actually glows a slight bit. What are the magical items you guys have? I think that's pretty much it.
My fleece mane, whatever.
Yeah, that glows white, a very dull light. All right, cool. So, as you guys are like, whoa, you hear from behind you. Well, they didn't get any more shit while we were gone. All right, come on in. I suppose Oh, wait a minute now. Well. If it isn't the night, you've been causing quite a ruckus out there, Mr. Blind Man. Last time I saw you, you had the same look on your face. Confused. That's perfect. Yep, that one right there. Yeah. Great. I see you. Well, last time your armor showed off the, what's the name of them people? The silver something or others? Those fucking, those knights that don't have a purpose? You know, those ones. You still with those boys?
The bitches.
I am not.
Well, that's good. That's good. Trust me, they got a lot more trouble than they can handle right now. Oh, fuck, man.
I have my own trouble that I am seeking help for myself.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I can tell. That's pretty good. They really did a doozy down there working the docks. You know, that's like... Fuck, I mean, I wouldn't have done that, but like, a healing kit. It's just as well. It's got like band-aids and shit, antibiotics. It's pretty crazy. As he opens up the secondary door and he's like, well, come on in. He's already waiting for you.
Deus goes in.
Yep, we're all going.
Sick. Let's see here.
I would hope so. Keep everybody
Is
together.
anybody not wanting to go in?
John is thinking a whorehouse sounds really nice right now.
Yep.
I can do that later.
Okay. I mean, if you want to, I'm certain there's probably a brothel somewhere. Let's see here. So, last time you guys were here, it's a big 50-foot, like pentagonal or hexagonal, pentagonal, like room. There's a stairwell to your left that goes up to a doorway. On the floor, last time you guys were here, it was a barren like stone tile floor, and then when they were performing a ritual, it alighted with the Arcane Eye symbol. That is still active. So when you guys enter, there's a soft, like a orange yellow glow from the floor. As you all walk in, Grimtooth is up at the top, and Absalon is actually right up there next to him. And he goes, "Oh, before we start anything further, here," and he tosses down the bag of holding.
Dibs! I grab it.
"I will give you until sundown tomorrow to take all the contents out before I turn it back into a regular bag."
Thank you. That's actually very kind of you.
"Well, don't worry. It will just be me from now on. This is great."
What do you mean? What happened to the other person in you, Xixis?
Well, and he looks at his nails. He's like, "Well, he was defective a little bit, so, I had to deal with the problem."
So is he in human form now?
Nope, he's a robot.
No. So robots have nails?
Is he just like
Okay.
sponge the form?
Have you ever seen a Necron blade one?
Okay, wait, what was that, Kaioken?
Was he like expelled from the body and put into a different item? Like I don't know how your soul gems work.
You could say that he was expelled from the gem. So, you will have roughly about 24 hours or so to get all of the stuff out, and then I'm taking my infusion back.
Every time I come here, I'm always in mourning, double mourning.
Grimtooth looks and goes, "Speaking of which, Ryder, is that really you?"
Nah, give him the old winning smile with a few gold teeth going.
He actually looks
Of course.
very disgusted. He was like, "Why are you not just a barnacle on that old fucking ship of yours?"
Well, funny story about that, my friend. Do you know the word mutiny?
So you're saying you were a terrible captain. That's great.
No,
You kill
hold on.
one of two of the greatest heroes to ever live, and this is how it ends?
First of all, you see this nice little thing he got me? Yeah, he gave me that, so he kind of deserves it. I was once
What'd you say,
beautiful,
Dave?
you.
He said on his breath, I didn't even know undead could mutiny.
Man. I was a necromancer before this. I've raised my fair share of zombies and skeletons. To make, small talk. They've never disobeyed me before. You must be a very shit necromancer, Captain. That's great. Really?
Hold on. I never claimed to be a necromancer, okay? I just wanted to be free.
The way you wore that hat around for all those years, with just the two, amateur.
Nice
But
hat.
we have us a gift. Is that a knight of the silver Oh, that's right. I forgot. You lost that just outside, didn't you?
He instinctually goes to grab his pendant that's not there.
Yeah. It's very interesting there, Mr. Nightman. I don't know what to do. I'm beside myself. I'm at a loss for words, as you can tell. I'm kidding, I always have something to say. But I suppose you are here because you wish to take my offer?
I wish to get this curse off of me.
You were cursed, huh?
I don't know how else to describe it. No matter how much I sleep and how much I rest, I still feel mentally drained.
Put a pin
I
in it.
thought that it was my feelings, my ill will towards my goddess. But even when I've resolved that and I've been reborn anew, I'm still so tired.
You should know that after the order you formerly served decided to burn down multiple of our hideouts across the western parts of the country, I could give a shit about your problems, but
Looks away.
I will tell you this much. Have you ever tried to lift a boulder out of the ground with your bare hands?
Yes, but I've never succeeded.
Right. Have you
Just
ever
a lesson
jammed a
in-
metal rod in and used that to lift it out? It's much easier. It's what you call leverage. I can fix you. Everyone has problems, and I can solve every one of them. And you see, he's like super smug, right? He is very happy at the fact that, like, Deus is here. Your order has fucked up some Arcane Eye shit. And who knows how long he's been watching. The one thing that he does know is what happened immediately outside of his residence was watching two Templars argue. It's great for him. So, let's get down to business, shall we? It's weird that you guys were so fast to replace Xixis with this old relic. But hey, I suppose everybody needs their anchor.
We are here to discuss what your request is, but I have a question, if I may ask. I know you've already done so much, but it is pertaining to the Arcane Eye and the Black Veil.
Ooh. This is juicy. How about this? Give me a moment, because I am just so giddy. I will answer your questions in just a moment, but first, I'm going to need everybody to agree on something. You see, I'm going to dangle the last carrot that I have currently. And I think it will be quite volatile. So I'm going to need everybody to agree to a little bit of mysticism first.
Be my guest.
I don't understand.
I'm listening.
I agree.
Okay. So, can I get an absolute yes from the knight and from Ryder?
He just looks around. I don't understand what he's asking.
I'm going to put a spell on you, and I want you to just agree to let it through.
John's gonna start ranting until he just puts the spell on him.
Don't worry. Scouts honor that I'm not going to directly harm any of you. I just don't want you to attempt anything and force me to blow the entire crater outside into a bigger crater.
Wait a sec, what do you mean by direct? What about indirectly? Or indirectly?
I guess if everyone else agrees, I agree.
Look, the worst damage you're going to get is emotional damage.
Yes, damage.
He gets a nosebleed. Emotional damage. So, he goes, is that acceptable for all of you?
Yes.
Keksi nods, yes.
We're agreeing to his job right now.
He does the
No, we're agreeing to a spell.
I guess nod like
You're not agreeing to the job yet. I just want to make sure that everyone's on the same page.
John smiles.
Yeah. Kaioken will nod.
So the moment that everybody says yes, everybody is going to willingly fail their wisdom saving throws. Unless you guys want to not.
is this a zone of truth?
I willingly.
All right.
Yeah, willingly. I mean, even if I tried, odds are I'd fail.
So, he's going to hold person everybody.
Son of a cuck.
Now, if you don't want to, you can try to pass it. Okay. So, as you all feel yourselves lock up and go rigid, he goes, "Thank you, Olaf." And then he puts a force cage around you guys. As these prismatic bars come up and there's a big cage, he goes, "You're fucked," and he pulls a... No, I'm kidding. So,
You know what? At
Absalom.
least we're together.
he
Finally.
goes, so he's been up on this platform about 25 feet up, about 50 feet away from you, and he's going to take his time coming down. I need you to understand this from me, all of you. I am not a good man. As he's coming down. I have spent so long doing whatever it takes for the betterment of everybody, as he's making his way down, that I've learned that sometimes you have to, what is the term, crack a few eggs. And he is going to sideways, like, looks, it almost sounds like he tears a hole in fabric, like in the fabric of space, as he rips open this rip, and it looks like, I don't know how to describe, like a bag, like a hole, right? Vertical. Underneath, nothing. And then he goes, "Kaioken, I know you're watching. I'm going to enjoy this." And he reaches down and he pulls out this handful of red hair as you see your wife.
Mm-hmm.
And he goes, "You see," and he slaps the shit out of her and she wakes up. And she looks at you, Kaioken, you had to have it. He slams her back down. Are you going to try to fight it?
If I can.
You can try.
I don't think I can.
You have a pretty good whiz.
Can I? Wisdom save?
To try to get out of the hold
Yeah.
person spell? Yeah.
I okay. 18?
Doesn't save.
But that's all I was trying to do is he's
Right. And he
You're, like,
reaches down
shaking.
he reaches down again and goes, "Oh, but wait. I wanted to complete the whole set." And he picks up, and you see he doesn't have your child. He has a fully grown man who looks like the perfect blend between you and your wife. And he goes, say hello to Papa. And you see the kid just, as he puts him back down and he zips it back up. And he walks right up to the edge of the force cage. And he's looking at every single one of you. He's like, I am not patient, nor am I understanding. I am vengeful to the extreme. I am a hate-filled force to be reckoned with, and I have only indulged in this game as a way to watch you squirm. And as he says that, he looks right at Kaioken. And I want you to beg before I snuff the light from your life. I will live up to my end of the bargain that we strike here, but know this, Kaioken. You will die before me. So, are we ready to go on the adventure? And everybody's hold person releases. You're muted.
Keksi looks over to Kaioken and just has a few tears that run down because she completely, what she just witnessed, she knows that that's his family.
What does...
Or what he believes to be his family.
What does Kaioken do?
Kaioken knows that he can't... I mean, he's very confused with that the black veil dangled them, and now the arcane eyes are dangling them. So
if he looks confused, he'll go, I can do it again if you want.
And you'd see the fucking anger set back into his eyes
as the veins come out.
Can I insight him to see if like it was real? Is that like a magical thing, or would that be an arcana?
Is that what you are wanting to know, is if that was real? Surface thought. Surface level.
Yeah, like, yes. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So he goes, you don't even have to ask. He goes, don't worry, I'll do it again. This is so enjoyable. Rips it open again. Pulls out your wife by the hair. She's like, honey, please, please. And he fucking punches her right in the face, and you see she starts bleeding out of her nose. And he goes, are you real? Are you in there? And she goes,
Tell me where you are. What do you see?
He keeps us in the bag, and then back down. Listen to me when I tell you. I hate you. But I hate the Black Veil so much more. So for you to want my help is a twofer. Would you like to take my quest?
I help you kill them. You let them free. And you can have me.
Of course. That was the first stipulation.
Deal.
Perfect. He opens his bag up. He very gently brings, and your wife is huddled, like terrified. Your son, he has a harder time, but he does not have a hard time. You see a Goliath man, but instead of gray, he's got this slightly brown hue to him. He's got this sort of like kind of mohawk. It's like a really short mohawk. It's got auburn, like her hair.
Mm-hmm.
He's got this kind of grizzled look to him. He looks like a middle-aged man.
Son, I'm so sorry.
And he looks and he goes, Daddy's going to give himself up for you. Is that okay, son? And the kid just kind of looks like, what? He's like, you were a statue? And he goes, bye. And you see them kind of like how Gerald has disappeared. You see them. And he goes, 3, 2, 1. And in his hand, a crystal ball apparates. It's about the size of a head, right? And he goes, look carefully. And you see, inside of said crystal ball, you can see an image of your throne room. And you see them fall into the same exact spot where you were reborn.
Mm-hmm.
They're home. I can take them at any time. Soon as this is done, you come back here. They're at Mount Asarin. They're in the throne room. Whether or not other people will remember who they were, I don't give a shit. You better hope that your people don't accidentally kill the last wood elf to be seen outside of the tree. Fucking brutes. And he kind of whoop, and the crystal ball goes away.
What do you need?
Is everyone in agreement? Or does anyone want to see Kaioken's family die?
That was not a my.
Mr. Knight, I know you're usually right in between. Is this evil enough for you to take action? Or is this the fanatical good?
As you know, I'm not a part of that Inquisition anymore, but sadly, no, that wouldn't be enough.
Interesting.
He looks at Kaioken sadly.
You know, my favorite part in all this is that when you realize what you're going to do, it will already be too late. But, Ryder. Ah. Pirate Man, welcome back after a century. Would you like to help your friend? Or are you going to turn tail and run just like you did the last time they needed your help against the Herald?
That was a very long time ago. But I guess you're right. I should help him. I'm in.
Now, Miss Keksi, I'm sorry that you have to be collateral damage in this, but I must say, I don't think that the Summer Court will really be missing you that much.
Keksi looks confused.
I do my research, ma'am, and I have 2 centuries worth of magical toys that I get to call upon whenever I wish. Including a few friends.
I'm assuming those are things that you're not willing to share.
If you survive, I might give up a couple of them.
I agree.
Perfect. Wise man. I can only assume that you are traveling too, or would you rather me wipe your memory completely of all of this?
I already said I was fine.
Well, it seems that you've got more than one person inside there that needs to answer yes or no for you to be okay.
The other one wouldn't answer.
Perfect. He kind of like gets real close to the cage and he goes, I owe a debt. Yes, I know. It's very unlikely that anybody that I owe a debt to is still alive, but there is a couple. I owe a debt. There's a witch. She lives to the north. She has an endowance crystal for me. Don't worry, you don't need to know what that is yet. Endowance crystal is what he said. He says, travel to the north, at the blasted hollow, traverse into the wood, and find her. There is no time limit, but Kaioken might want to be hasty. Otherwise, it's implied. Complete this task for me, and I will give you a boon. And he looks to Keksi. I will help divulge information previously unknown to help tip the scales. And he looks over at Therai. He goes, and finally, I will grant Kaioken the one thing that he wants most in this world. I will let his family be truly free. So, seek out the witch. Tell her you've come to settle up with old Grimtooth and the Arcane Eye. Take the item. You will know what to do by then. Oh, and by the way, take Olaf with you. His quips edge me towards murder hourly. What can I say? I'm a people person. Maybe he can get a glimpse of his home and see what the Black Veil has done for him lately. And that is what he says. He goes, if we're all in accordance. And you guys are all ejected from the tower.
Oh man, I wanted to ask some questions.
You guys all land on your butts just outside.
You never said about my curse.
Okay, well.
Well, that sucks, Kaioken. I know you're going through that.
I mean, I literally told you.
Yeah, we all knew. Saying.
Out of game, did John knew about this whole arrangement?
Nope.
No.
Okay.
You're coming into this. You've been on the
yeah.
high seas having adventures, like pillaging and shit. One day of me, not even a day, like 3 or 4 hours, and you are thrown deep in the shit.
So after all that, John's kind of like just goes to him and says, "Big man," kind of just gives him a. He gives him that look where kind of says like, "I really no words I can say to really say anything," but then he just does the old on the shoulder.
And you would see Kaioken is just like deflated, like just hollow and feeling that. And he looks up at you and like, if you do this for me, you can not give me a dinosaur. That'll be okay.
So go ahead.
No, you please.
No, friend. It wouldn't feel right for me to ask anything after I do this favor for you. It's not, I really want to call it a favor, but we're friends. Anything you need from old John Ryder, just let him know.
You might want to be hush-hush on that name in the city.
Is Olaf with us right now?
Geez, big man. I didn't realize it was like that. I mean, you see a goblin and you never think that, like, maybe they're evil, maybe they're not. That Sing Sing's not too bad, but hey, man, I didn't know. If there's any consolation, I wasn't allowed upstairs either. I've just been sitting in that fucking chamber for like 3 days. All right.
Olaf, when I was younger, I made mistakes. I let other people make up assumptions based on other people, and it's my fault for not making my own calls. So
Yeah.
you're
I know.
old, but I hope you don't live long enough to feel anything like this. I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy, even
Yeah, too
Grim
late.
Tooth.
Too late for that. But
Yep. Well,
Well-
what is your skill set? How can we?
Goose.
Yeah, I'm sure you all
Goose
know
is-
about.
Her face right now.
oh, that's sorry. My fucking dog is licking my daughter's face to wake her up.
Oh,
Go get
Bitch.
her. Go fuck.
God damn it.
yeah.
Okay.
All right. Goose has been killed. So,
Good.
but he goes, well, I didn't expect to get kicked out of there either. I'm not even from here. Like, I don't know him at all. For what it's worth, like, I'm an Arcane Eye member, like, through and through, but, like, I just feel lied to that whole time. You know what I mean? Like, yep. This is awkward.
Yeah. But what is your skill set? We'll need to know that before we get into our next engagement. I'm ready to go now.
Well, glad you asked, big man. I make the boom boom. And we're going to end it with that.
Oh, nice.
As
I
Olaf
love it.
gives you
I
the
love
cheeky
it.
smile. And you
Jesus,
see
I make
just
the
the
boom
slightest little flame come out of his hand as he snuffs it immediately.
Mhm.
Ooh, I'm excited.
Um,
I'm excited.
Immediately, this guy just used magic.
magic.
We just
Presence
don't
comes
beat him
down,
up.
breaks his
Run
neck.
us out of town.
Yeah.
You just use magic in a different direction.
We just start beating him up. The guards come in. Stop right there, criminal scum! You
That was,
violated the law.
That was extreme.